What's good, everybody? It's your boy. A little late than normal. Today's been a really long day, so I apologize for being a little bit late. Usually on my Wednesday streams, I'm on time, but a lot of running around today. But I'm here, and welcome to the live stream. Oh, there she go. I'm not usually late on Wednesdays, D. I'm really not. Not on Wednesdays, but I was really doing some running around today. But we are here. Welcome to the live stream for those of you that's been following my new live stream. It's been about 2 months now. I've been going live on Wednesdays here to answer your questions. You know what I'm saying? If you have questions about the piano or questions about music theory, I always say this at the beginning, I am not the know-all of everything. I don't know everything. But if there's something that you have a question on and I can help you with it, then I will do so. I also like to start with a pre-made lesson already, something in mind just to get started. And then, of course, as the lesson goes, I'll take your questions. So let me just say, I see some people. Oh yeah, getting smart. Kyle Thomas, how you doing, Kyle? Thank you for joining us. What I forgot to do was to have my link available. Hold on. If there's anybody that has any questions that want to actually join the actual panel, like come on the video call with me to ask your questions, I'm going to give you a link that will allow you to do so. Just please remember that we don't do any cussing on here. No inappropriate comments, but that's the link if you want to actually hop on with me. I usually take your questions after I'm finished the lesson. Today we're going to continue our chord building series. We've been learning how to build chords. Tonight we're supposed to be looking at the 11th chords. It's really not much I'm going to show you about the 11th chords because by now, if you've been following me, you probably already understand the concept. But I do want to review the steps leading up to the 11th chords. Okay, I do want to review that. I want to review that. So if that is all, I think that's all my hello. So I guess I better get on to the lesson because nobody else wants to say hi to your boy. That's okay. That's okay, Lucy. That's okay. All right. So, I believe this is episode 10 tonight. And I believe since episode 6, if y'all, any questions, episode 6, I've been, doing chord building series, how to build chords. And this is basically how I learned my chords. A lot of y'all will look at my tutorials and, if you call out a chord, I can just play it most of the time. Most of the time, I don't even have to think too hard about it. This is how I learned my chords. This is, and so I'm just sharing what I use. Now, this has been over 20 years ago when I learned how to do all this. But this is what it is like. Once I learned the major scale, literally, I didn't even have to learn my minor scales. I know what the minor scales are, but I'm not saying it's not important to learn your minor scales. I'm just simply saying that just knowing your major scale can you can build pretty much any chord that's out there. So let's go back to basics. I'm going to bring the keyboard window up larger. There you go. Okay, so y'all can see that okay, right? Okay, now on the first part of the series, I was like, well, some of you might not know how to build your major scale first. So, of course, in order to build chords from a major scale, you got to know your actual chords, right? So this is the formula that I've given y'all. Whole, half, whole, half, and that's just short for steps, okay? So whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. I do not want to spend a lot of time on this. What I'm doing right now is a review. I've already spent a lot of time on these videos already, but just to quickly show For those of you that do not know the difference between a half step and a whole step, here's the simple explanation. Okay, if you look on the screen, you can see I'm playing a C right now. Now, if I went to the very next note, it will be C sharp or D flat, whatever you want to call it at this point. When you move from one note to the very next note on the piano, that is called a half step. That's a half step, okay? Semitone, half step. And if you skip that note and move to the very next note, as you can see, I went from C to D, that's a whole step. That's going to be the end of that lesson. That's the difference between whole step and half step. So from C to C sharp, that's considered a half step. Why? Because I moved from one note to the very next note. If I move from C to D, that's considered a whole step. So whenever you skip the next note and continue moving, that's a whole step. Okay, so that's it. If you want further instruction on that, go back to episode 6 of my live streams where I spent a lot of time on that. But okay, so those are the difference between whole and half steps. So now look on your screen again. If you want to build a major scale, you just need to move whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Oh, Jacob Jennings, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you, man. Thank you. So let's take a look at the C major scale. Most people in here, I'm going to assume you are already familiar with the C major scale, right? You don't even have to think about it. You can play a C major scale, okay? Right? Most people know that it's all the white keys, right? But I played I'm sorry, y'all couldn't see all the notes I played. I'm sorry. Let me do it up here. Okay, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Most of y'all can play that. You don't even have to think twice about it. But what I like to do is to show y'all using the formula that's on the screen right now. Let's look at that formula and see theoretically how that scale is put together. So when you're using this formula that's on the screen, what you want to do is whatever scale you want to play. In this case is C. You want to play that note first before you look at any of those words that's on the screen, before you make any type of step. Put that note down first. So C. Now move a whole step. Okay, so that's the first, the next note of your scale. Move another whole step. Right? Now move a half step. Right? E to F is a half step, right? Because there is no black note in between that. So far, we've done whole, half step. Then you're going to move another whole step, another whole step, another whole step, and then you end on a half step. Again, B to C is a half step. There is no black note in between it. So when you look at that, now you can take that, what I just showed you, start on any key on the piano and do the same thing. Let's take B flat, okay? Just to make sure the notes display correctly, I'll just tell it to give me a B flat key signature. Okay. Now, if you go to B flat and you don't, let's say you do not know your B flat scale, right? You don't know it. Okay. Using that formula that's down there, press down the B flat first. Now move a whole step. Remember, a whole step is when you skip a note, right? So that's your next note. Move another whole step. Right? Now move a half step. Right? D to E flat. That's a half step, right? Now move a whole step. Move a whole step. Whole step. And then end on a half step. Right then and there, now you can go back and say, oh, so my B flat scale is... Okay, and you can do that with all the scales. I'll just show you an example of one more. Let's do A flat. Let me just change the key signature to A flat for a second. Okay, so you got A flat, right? So if you start on A flat, move a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and then end on a half step. Okay, then you can go back and go. Wonderful. All right, so now you know how to build your scales. Now for the point of this live stream, how to build chords from the major scales. What's going on? Should I call you by your government name? Twitterholic? I don't know. Should I call you by your government name? Thank you for joining me this evening. Okay, so now let's go back to the key of C now, okay? And what we're going to do is now we're going to review the chords that we've done already. All right, so let's say in the key of C. Okay, let me remove this off the screen because it's in the way, and I want to play my notes down here. There you go. Okay, so now that you know how to build your scale, what you do is if there's a scale you don't know, you can write down the notes of your scale. Okay, I showed you how to build the scale. Now from that scale, you're like, okay, how do I find the C major chord? Well, the C major scale, remember, is C, D, E, F, G. Let's just look at the first 5 letters of the C major scale, right? So the first note of the scale, the third note of the scale, and the 5th note of the scale will give you that major chord every single time, no matter which key you're in. We did a B flat scale earlier, about 2 minutes ago. That's the first 5 notes of the B flat scale. B flat, C, D, E flat, and then F, right? So the first note, the third note, 5th note. That's your major chord, okay? Now, let's go back to the key of C. If you want to turn a major chord into a minor chord, it's as simple as taking that third note of the scale and dropping it down a half step, right? There you go. C major, C minor. For those of you that joining, I am just reviewing. I'm not doing a deep lesson into these. I just wanted to just make sure I go over this again, and then we'll go into our lesson for 11th chords. All right, so that's how you take a major chord. To make it a minor, you just take that third, drop it down. To make it diminished, you take the 5th note of the scale and drop that down a half step as well. Okay, so there you go. C major, minor, diminished. Okay, and then we talked about we talked about augmented chords as well. So if you have a C major chord, to make this a C augmented chord, you simply take that 5th note, which is the G, raise it up a half step, stop. That's all you got to do. Bam! Now you have an augmented chord. You know what I'm saying? It's not as hard. When you see that stuff when you're doing music and reading chord sheets, and you're like, man, how do I figure out all this stuff? This stuff is too hard. No, it's not that hard. It's that simple. If this is a C major chord, there go your C augmented chord, right? Okay. Then we talked about the sus2 and sus4 chords. So here's a C major chord again, right? C, E, G. If you want to play a C sus4, the C sus4 is when you take that third note of the scale, and instead of lowering a half step, this time you're going to raise it up a half step. Okay, and when you raise it up a half step, now you have a sus4 chord. Again, this is just a review from previous weeks. I will be getting to the 11th chords in the next 2 to 3 minutes, hopefully. So that's your C sus4 chord, right? And if you want to do a C sus2 chord, you just play the 1, the 2, and the 5th note of the scale, right? There you go. And you have a C sus2, okay? So there you go. You got sus4, sus2, and there you go. So just right there, I just showed you, just because you know the first 5 notes of any major scale, I just showed you how to play the sus4, the sus2, the minor, the diminished, and the augmented chord, just because you know the first 5 notes of the scale. But let's extend the scale a little bit more. Let's go into the sevenths, okay? So we did a lesson on sevenths already, but it's simply just adding the 7th note on everything. So if you have a C major chord, but someone is telling you to play a C major 7 chord, then okay, well, you got the 1, the 3, and the 5th note of the scale, right? Take a guess at which number you need to play to make this a 7th. Exactly, just play the 7th note of the scale. It's that simple, okay? 1, 3, 5, 7 of the major scale. Remember, you already know your C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so there you go. Now you have a C major 7. That was easy, right? Now when you get to 7th chords, that's when you can start bringing in what are called dominant chords. Man, I can't even get my words out. Dominant chords. So if you want to do a C dominant 7 chord, then all you have to do is take that major 7 and drop it down a half step. And when you see a chord that's written with just the letter and the number, and you don't see the word major, or you don't see minor or AUG, or you don't see nothing but just that, that is short for dominant. So there you go. That's your dominant 7 chord. So C major 7, dominant 7. Okay. Now to make it a minor 7, you also will take the 3rd note of the scale, which is E, and drop that down a half step as well. Now you have minor 7. So let's review that. Major 7, dominant 7, minor 7. Now we're going to go into the diminished chords. So if you want to do a half diminished chord, that's called a flat 5, commonly known as minor 7 flat 5. If you want to do that, then you literally will take the 5 and flat it, just like the chord says to do. It says flat 5, right? Well, take the 5th note of your C major scale and flat it. Okay, when you take a note down to the left a half step, you're flatting the note. Okay, so now we got C minor 7 flat 5. That is also known as half diminished. Now, if it requires you to play a fully diminished chord, then you're going to have to take that minor 7, that dominant 7, drop it down another half step. Now you have a fully diminished chord. Half diminished, fully diminished, okay? All right, and then I believe it was last week that we introduced the different types of 9th chords. And the 9th chords is as simple as the 7th chord was, right? The 1st note, the 3rd note of the major scale, the 5th note of the major scale, the 7th note of the major scale, and then the 9th note. That's all. It's that simple. It is that simple. Now you have what is called a C major 9. Now let me explain the 9 just for a second, because now we're doing what are called extended chords. Okay, extended chords is when you're going past. Okay, like when you first learn how to play a C major scale, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you back at 1 again, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in the case of extended chords, you don't want to go from 7 and go back to 1. Once you hit the number 7, you want to continue counting up to, I would say, 13 before you wind up going in theory. Now, this is not, you'll understand what I mean by this in a second. You really want to count up to 14 before you go back to 1. Now, there are no such thing as 14th chords, but once I make my explanation, which I'm about to do right now, you'll understand why I say, in theory, you kind of want to count up to 14. When you're doing extended chords, okay, your C is still going to be 1, right? D, before you did the extended chords, we considered D to be the 2 chord, right? The 2nd note of the scale. But let's just start playing every other note, okay? And we'll just call out those numbers. So you got C is 1. Well, let me just count it out. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Okay, so now we at 7, right? Now, when you're doing extended chords, when you reach the octave, just think of it as 8. Now, we're never going to call a chord an 8th chord, okay? But I'm just saying, in your mind, think 8, okay? Now, what comes after 8 when we're counting, right? 9. So now, the D, when you're dealing with extended chords, can now be considered a 9 instead of a 2. Now, yeah, when we were down here, we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And guess what? It is a 2 in certain situations. But once you get into extended chords, that means you have to extend the number. You have to extend how you are counting. So, okay, so if B is 7, then mentally think C as 8. That means D becomes 9. Now, mentally think E as the number 10. Now, again, we're never going to call a chord a 10th chord, but just think of it as a 10. And then you go to the next note. That F, now that F is considered to be 11, okay, which is what we're getting ready to learn about this 11 in about another minute or so. But then G, you can just mentally think of it as a 12, even though there's no such thing as a 12th chord, but just think of it as 12. and then you have A. That becomes 13th. Okay, we'll be dealing with 13th chords next week. Okay, now B.
Here's what I found on the web.
Don't you hate it when your phone thinks you're talking to it? I wasn't talking to my phone, but anyway. Okay, so B, there's no such thing as a 14th, but in your mind you can think of it as 14, right? And then once you get back to C, you're back at 1 again. So that was a long explanation to just simply say this: 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. That's how you count chords when you're dealing with extended chords. Again, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Okay? All right, cool. Now that you understand that, let's get to today's lesson. I think there are a couple of questions that came up. Okay, who said, I think those one are best used. Okay, the problem. Okay, question. Okay, check this out. Those that have a question, I will answer your question. Remember it. You might even want to copy and have it in your clipboard. As soon as I finish this lesson, which won't take me long because there's nothing really much to show with the 11th, to be honest with you. And then I will get to your questions. All right. So I will answer your questions. All right. So just hold on. All right. So now we're on to the 11th chord. Okay. So I showed you what to. Okay. So we had the regular major chord, right? 1, 3, 5. And then we said with the major 7, you add the 7th, right? Major 9 chord, you add the 9th note of the scale. So obviously, and I apologize, I do not know why my software, the software that I'm using will not display the name of this chord correctly, but you can trust me, you can Google this and you can go pick up any music theory book on the earth. But this is a C major 11 chord. I don't know why my software will not display this as C major 11. I'm sure it's just some type of glitch in the software, but trust and believe. This is a C major 11 chord. I'm not the designer of the software. I'm just the guy that paid $25 to use it. All right. So just take my word, Google it. You will see that this is a C major 11. So that's it. So if you want to do so, C major 11 is that simple. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay. Now this is a major 11th chord. Now, if you want to do a dominant 11, like C11, sometimes when you're playing music, well, I should say if you're reading sheet music, or maybe you purchase a chord sheet for a song, you might not see C major 11, you might just see C11. So if you see C11 and it doesn't say major, minor, blah, 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 then that means you need to just make it a dominant 11. And there's only one thing you have to do to this chord as you see it to make it a dominant 11. And that's to go back and take the 7th note of the scale, lower it a half step. So on this software, they call it a C9, which is a dominant 9 add 11. But it also can be just called a C11 chord. So that's your dominant 11. Okay. So major 11, dominant 11. So just in case you don't need the major. Now, sometimes you'll see something that says sharp 11, right? Sharp 11 is nothing but just taking that 11th note and raising it up a half step. And as you can see, the software actually recognizes that. They call it C major 9, but then they say, oh yeah, well, for sharp 11 on top, which is just a C major. Well, sharp 11, I guess you would call it. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's not that hard to figure out how to build these chords once you understand what the foundation. Once you get the basics down, it's like the rest of this stuff is like, pretty simple to understand. So there you go. You got your, again, this is major 11, dominant 11, sharp 11, and then this is minor 11. Now, if you take a look at this, I'm starting with the C minor 7 chord, which we already learned how to make a minor 7 chord like 2 or 3 episodes ago. So then you just add the ninth note of the scale. You don't have to do nothing to the ninth note, but just add it. That becomes C minor 9. So if you need a C minor 11, then you just add the 11th. You don't have to do nothing to the 11th. You don't have to flat it. You don't have to sharpen it. Sharpen it like a pencil, right? You don't have to sharpen it. There you go. C minor 11. So there you go right there, ladies and gentlemen. You got, again, you'll have to take my word that this is a C major 11, okay? That's a sharp 11, a dominant 11, and let me make sure I got my fingers right. They go a minor 11, okay? And there's and from there you can really do some you can do so much more, but I want to show it to you in at least one other key. I just want to jump into another key and show you this same process. So we'll go to the key of F for a second, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead on and answer your questions, all right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I know the last couple of weeks I've been spending a lot of time, but in my mind, I'm like, if you really want full explanations, you can actually just look at the previous live streams, okay? Because I really broke this stuff down, you know what I'm saying? But okay, so if we're in the key of F, again, you have to know your F major scale first. So if you're like, well, I don't know what the F major scale is, then you're going to have to remember the whole, half, whole, half, and that's short for steps, right? So what did I say? When you're trying to figure out a scale, you press the first note down first. Just press it down. Now move a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and then half step. And then once you write those notes down or whatever, you can go back and say, oh, so my F major scale is. Now, please pay attention in the key of F that you do have an accidental. You have a black note. You have a B flat. So keep that in mind. That is so important. You have to remember that B flat. Don't forget it. Okay, remember it. Don't forget it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's do that extended count. Let's do the extended count. So if that's 8, that means this will be 9. You know, we can think of it as 10. So that means B flat is the 11. Don't worry about the 12. That would be considered 13. D would be considered 13. And we don't really call that a 14, but you know, in your mind you can think of it. And then you're back at 1. So now we got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay. All right. So we already showed you the F major 11. Now this is the same issue that I have with the C major chord. Again, this software for some reason will not display the name C major or F major, any major 11 chords. Okay, I didn't create the software. Don't shoot me. But let's just jump through the F scale real quick. So, of course, for the F major chord, once again, 1, 3, 5, right? You play the 1, 3, 5, F, A, C. That gives you an F major chord. To make that a minor, you take the third note of the scale, drop it down a half step. Voila, you got yourself a minor chord. And if you want to make it diminished, then you take the 5th note, which is the C, drop that down a half step. Voila, you got an F diminished chord. So major, minor, diminish. And if you want to make it augmented, take the 5th note of the scale, raise it up a half step. F augmented, okay? sus4 and sus2. Again, to make this a sus4 chord, you take the 3rd note of the scale. This time it's A, raise it up a half step. There you go, F sus4. If you want a sus2, you have to play the 1, 2, and 5 of the scale. 1, 2, 5, right? There go your sus2. Okay. And then, of course, for major 7, you just add the 7th note of the scale. If you, like I said, if this is clicking in, if this is sinking in, you should be able to say, oh my goodness, so I can do this for every key. Yes. Yes, you can use this formula for every key. If you need to learn all your chords in the key of B, if you need to learn chords in the key of A, in the key of E, you can first start with the major scale. Once you get that major scale, boom, the world is yours. The world is yours. You should be able to build any chord from there. But let me just finish this up real quick. And then I'm going to answer that question that I just saw. So 1, 3, 5, 7. So that gives you the major 7 chord. If you need a dominant 7 chord, then that means you take the 7th note of the scale, drop it down a half step. There you go, right? Dominant 7. If you need the minor 7, you take the 3rd, which is the A, drop it down a half step. Now you have a minor 7. Now we're going to go into the diminished chords. If you need a flat 5 chord, which is also known as a diminished half diminished chord, then that means you take the 5th note and do just that. You make the 5 flat. There you go. So you take the 5th, you flat it. Now you got a C minor 7 flat 5, which is also known as a half diminished chord. And if you want to fully diminish the chord, you take that minor 7 and then you make it a diminished 7 by dropping it down another half step. Okay, so now you have a F diminished 7. So let's go back to the F major chord. F major 7. Major 7. Dominant 7. Minor 7. Flat 5. Fully diminished 7 chord. Okay, now if you want to do the F major 9 chord, again, you just add the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and the 9th note of the scale, right? There you go. It's that simple. I don't even want to talk too much about that. So there you go. You got your F major 9. And of course, if you need to make this a dominant 9, then all you have to do is just include the dominant 7. Okay, and we already learned the dominant 7 chord already, right? Because remember, this is dominant 7, right? We just did that like a minute ago. So just add a 9 on top of it, and now you have a F9 chord. That's your dominant 9. Okay. Oh, and then minor 9. Might as well show you minor 9 too, which is taking the 3rd note of the scale, which is the A, and dropping that down a half step as well. So there you go. You got minor 9. Okay. So, oops, sorry about that. My fingers slipped. Okay. There you go. F major 9. Dominant 9, minor 9. Okay. Now again, today our lesson was to start including the 11th chords, right? So let's look at a F major 11. Again, if you're just joining me, the software that I use does not display major 11th chord. So it's going to say something else, but just trust me. You can, like I say, you can verify this. You can Google it and see, oh, okay, yeah, House of Jazz was telling the truth. But I'm going to show you how to play an F major 11 chord. So you got the 1, the 3, the 5th note of the scale, the 7th note, the 9th note. And remember when we figured out the F major scale that it's B flat, not B natural, right? So make sure you play that B flat. So this is a F major 11th chord, okay? All right, so F major 11. That's it. Literally, that's it. Like, there you go. Now to, what was some of the others I showed y'all? Oh, sharp 11. Okay, now if you wanted to make this a sharp 11, then you take the 11th, which is the B flat, and do just that. You make it sharp by making it go up a half step. So now you have a F major 9, and they'll say sharp 11. Okay, so F major 11, sharp 11 if you need it. Now, what if you needed a dominant 11? Okay, if you needed a F, well, it probably would read F11. If you needed an a F11 chord. I'm trying to slow it down because I'm talking too fast. F11 chord. All you have to do is take that 7th note, you know what I'm saying, and make it dominant by dropping it down a half step. And now you have what is called a F9 add 11, or you can just say that's a F11 chord. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, you can, like I say, you can do that with every scale. Now, I am not going to come on this live stream after next week. I'm not going to review this anymore because I'm like, okay, I've done reviewed it like 4 or 5 times now, but it is up to you to take this little bits of information that I'm giving you and use it to be able to learn your chords. You should really be able to know. And like a lot of people like, okay, I want to learn the number system. Okay. I'm like, okay, well, do you know your chords? And they like, no. And I'm like, well, how can you learn the number system if you don't know in order for you to know the number system? Okay. I want to play in church and I want to play by number. Okay. You need to know your chords. Okay. In order for the number system to work, the number system might be 1, 4, 5, 1. I've done this song 10.9 trillion times before, but it's one of the simplest songs. It's just one of the easiest ones to display real quick. It's a Hezekiah Walker song. Oh Lord, we praise you. The song is simply 1, 4, 5, 1. But you have to know that, okay, well, if we're in the key of C, right? Okay, you gotta know what key you're in, right? You know, they'll probably tell you at least what key they're in. Okay, you with a band. All right, we're gonna play this in C. All right, what's the song? Oh Lord, we praise you, man. 1, 4, 5, 1. That means you need to know that the 1 is supposed to be a major chord. That means you need to know that how to play a C major chord, right? And then the 4 in C is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the F chord, right? So that means you need to know that this is the F major chord. You need to know that this is a major chord. Okay, what's the 5? Where if F is 4, then G is 5, right? Well, you're going to need to know that that this is a G major chord. And then, okay, then you go back to 1. Okay, so it's like the number system won't work if you don't know that this is how you play a C major chord. This is a F major chord. This is a G major chord, C major chord. Okay, so again, even to learn the number system, you still need to know your chords. If you need to play the 6 of the C scale, right, and 6 is used commonly. When you're using the number system, usually when you play a 6, you play it as a minor chord. That means you need to know that, oh, this is an A minor chord. Okay, this is A minor. You need to actually know that. If you don't know that, then the number system's not going to help you. It's like, okay, yeah, I know the numbers, but I don't know the chords. All right. So I'm said this long rant simply to say, you really need to learn your chords in every single key so that no matter what key a band is playing in, let's say you're the only musician, but the choir can only sing a song in a certain key. And you might know the number. You might say, oh yeah, that song, yeah, that song is whatever. And you got the number down. But it's like, hold up, in the key of B, I don't know my B major chord. I don't know the chords in B. Well, guess what? You're either going to be cheating by using the transpose button. And if you're sitting at a grand piano that doesn't have a transpose button, or an organ that doesn't have a transpose button, I got one thing to say to you. Sorry for you. Okay, so I mean, so it's just basically that. So it's up to you to take all this, take this, and it's going to take time. You know what I'm saying? Do one key at a time. You saw me do F. Get your fingers familiar. I'm sorry, you saw me do C first. Actually, you did see me do F, but you saw me do C first. Get yourself familiar with C, and then you can do F major next if you want. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then you might say, well, okay, F major has 1 flat, so let me learn all the keys with the 1 flat. Now, which key only has 1 sharp? G major, right? F sharp, right? Is the accidental. Okay, well, let me get used to G, and you need to actually start getting used to it. You need to start playing in G. Learn that. Okay, that's G major. G minor. I just messed that up, didn't I? We do that again. G major, minor, G diminished, minor 7. You know what I'm saying? It's like train your fingers, because a lot of this is muscle memory. I'm telling you, playing the piano, a lot of this is muscle memory. You got to get your fingers got to get used to that. Once you get that muscle memory and you get your brain and you take the time to learn all this, you will find yourself remembering how to play chords and not even understanding how you actually remembered how to play the chord. You'll be like, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. Because you'll start getting familiar. Let's say you look at a lot of my tutorials. Hopefully all y'all look at all my tutorials and you always give me thumbs up. Hopefully you're not the one out there that's thumbing down all my live streams. We know who you are, but it's okay. I got nothing but love for you. If it makes you feel good to thumbs me down, I get it. But, you know, if you're looking at my tutorials, eventually I'll call out a chord, and before I even show it to you on the video, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I remember that chord. You know what I'm saying? Before you'll find yourself just being familiar with everything. So this is not no learn how to play the keyboard in 5 minutes or in 15 minutes, be able to play play any song you ever wanted to play in 15 minutes. When I see those videos, and they advertise on my videos sometimes, like, oh yeah, I'll have you playing such and such a song in 20 minutes. And I'm like, really? Okay, 20 minutes, that's it. Shouldn't everybody be a piano player then? But anyway, now if you really want to understand what you're doing, you really need to just take the time. You got to take the time. So let me see if I have some questions. We got D that hopped on the panel too. What's going on, D? Again, if you have
nothing much.
Okay. If you have a question, here is a link that will allow you to come on with me. Did I do this right? I think I did it wrong. Hold on. Right click and
Gregory
paste and boom. So if you want to come on, you can do that. Now I'm going to scroll back up because I know I saw a question earlier. And then what I'll do, you can start typing in your questions, or if you want to come on the panel and ask your question, you can do that. That link will bring you backstage. Please just know we don't do the cussing. You get on here and you start the cussing, you will start to getting dropped out. Okay.
Yes, I will boot you out. I will.
Right
boot
there you go.
you
Exactly. Out. And she is a moderator, so D will she will click you right away. All right. So I had a question. Okay, so we're going to put this one up first. So this question says about a chord I heard in okay, I guess she's talking about Robert Glasper. I wanted to know what to call it. Oh, well, I would definitely have to know a little more information to be able to answer that one. So feel free to, elaborate on that. Okay, Arturo had a question. Is there any instance where you could use a major 11th chord? Yeah, you can use it all the time. You can use it. Absolutely. I can answer that part. Okay. So as not to sharpen the 11th and maintain it as a natural tension. Does that exist? I can honestly say I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. However, if what you are asking is, can you just use a major 11th chord as is? Absolutely. You're the musician. If let's say you're writing a song and you just like the way the major 11 chord sounds, then use it. You know what I'm saying? It just is.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. I mean, if that's what your question is, can you use it in its natural form? Absolutely, you can. That's the answer. That's an easy one. Now, if I misunderstood your question, feel free to either hop on the panel or retype it down there because I wasn't 100% sure. All right, let me see if there's another question. We had someone Evan just hopped on the panel. What's going on, sir? I'll be
Hey,
with you. I'll be with you in 1 second. I just want to make sure that I got any other questions that was asked first, and then we'll talk to you for a second. I wondered instances. Let me see what this says. Yes, I want to express. Okay. Let's see. Don't want to miss anyone's because what's a good Okay, hold up. What's a good exercise for remembering in all keys? Iranio 146. This man and I, we actually share the same last name, but yet, as far as we know, we're not related to each other. But
Thank goodness
practice.
for that.
We talking about thank goodness. He wish he was related to me. No, I'm just playing. Practice and plan.
Practice. Yep.
Practice and actually plan. I promise you that I started memorizing chords and remembering chords because I just kept playing. I kept playing. You keep playing, and when you play, a lot of times when you don't know chords but you just know how to play a song, a lot of times you're not thinking about what you're playing. So a good thing to do is to actually sit down, take a song that you know how to play, but you don't necessarily know what chords you're playing, but you just know how to play it. Sit down one day and say, you know what? I want to sit down and figure out every single chord I'm playing, even if you have to write it down. Stuff like that will help you remember it too, I would say. But really, it's just doing it every day. Practicing is the best way, at least for me. What's your minor nine? When should you use a minor 9 over and add 9? Well, to be honest, okay, so our 9 asked when should you use a minor 9 over a add 9 or add 11? When your ear wants you. Let me explain. Now, add 9 and a major 9 to me are totally different sounds. It's like, so it's really like, it depends on what sound you're looking for. So let me play. All right, let me play. Can y'all see? I gotta play them. I'm gonna remove the question off so y'all can see nothing. Listen to what a C add 9 sounds like. Nothing wrong with it. Add 9, and let me say this, by the way, add 9 is the same thing as an add 2 because we already discussed that the 2 and the 9 is the same note. So in the key of C, C is 1, D is 2, but if you go into the extended count, right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, D becomes the 9, right? So I know the software is displaying add 2, but this is a C. This is also known as a C add 9. So take a listen to it. This is what the add 9 sounds like. Now listen to what the major 9 sounds like. You hear the difference? Listen again. Add 9, major 9. Call me crazy, but that major 9 is just a sweeter chord. So it's like, what sound are you looking for? What sound? Now, there are times where I will do my darndest. Okay, I mean, I will do my darndest to try to use a major 9 because I love the way the major 9 sounds, but it just doesn't go with the song. Again, this is what I meant by use your ear to figure out the answer. It's like it just doesn't sit right. But when you play the song with the add 9, it just sounds right. I know it's not a theoretical answer, but I mean, it's an honest answer. Use your ears. When to use an add 9, when to use a major 9, use your ears. Because sometimes the major 9 just won't sound right like with whatever chords you're playing around it. It just doesn't sound right, but the add 9 does. So there are two different sounds. Again, add 9, major 9 is two different sounds. So that's my answer for it. I might not be the best answer. Okay, let me see. Minor 9 when it's above the octave. Add 9 when you add the tension. Okay, I think he was trying to answer the question. Okay, but depends exactly. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm just making sure. And then we'll speak to, is that Evan, right? Yeah, Evan in a second. We'll talk to you in a second. Let me just I think I got everybody's question. Let me see. And no, Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's bring up Evan. What's going on, sir? How you be?
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Can you hear?
Oh, you got the Rhodes? You got the Fender Rhodes? You trying to show off that you got a real Rhodes?
No,
And now I'm jealous.
I had a legitimate question.
No, you just
First
trying to
off,
make me jealous because you got a authentic like Rhodes right there, and I've never had
Right.
one. You just
I
trying to
think-
make. I'm gonna have to boot you off, man. I'm gonna have to ban you because you're
Oh.
trying to make me jealous on my own
No,
stream.
no,
This
come
man got a real Fender Rhodes right there. I'm
Yeah,
jealous. Bye.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
Oh, come
get
on.
off my stream, man. No, I'm just playing. What's your question, man?
First off, I love your tutorials. Just wanted to say I learned a ton of songs. I can't remember which ones, but I've watched a ton of them and learned a bunch from them.
No problem, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I ran into a chord. I wrote the one about Glasper. I ran into a chord in a Glasper
Early.
tune.
Okay.
And then I just ran into it the other day on a Free Nationals song, on the intro song, and it's
Okay.
both of them resolve down to the minor chord. So it's
Well, yeah. Call out each letter one at a time, and I'll play it, and we'll figure it out. Go ahead.
all right. So D flat, F, G,
Okay. You said D flat, F, G.
C.
Say that one more time.
D flat,
Uh-huh.
F, G,
Okay.
C.
Oh, now it's funny that I rarely see this chord written out. Oh, you can't see the screen. Let me show y'all the screen for a second. I want y'all to see what the software is calling this. I can honestly say I don't know if you can legitimately call something major 7 flat 5, but I have seen it, so I guess you can. But if you look at the chord, it's definitely well, okay, so it's saying major 7. So let's just play a D flat major 7 chord is normally is D flat, F, A flat, and C. But you, instead of playing the A flat, you took the 5th and you dropped it down a half step. So they're just simply saying, according to the software, they're saying it's a D major 7 flat 5. I understand that.
Is it more
They're
like a
all-
sharp 11?
Well, flat 5 and sharp. I mean, you can call it sharp 11 if you want. I don't know, because 5 and 11s are the same thing. It's the same note, I should say. Right? A 5, the 5th note of a scale, and the 11th note is the same thing. For those of you that's like, that's not right. No, hold up. I think I was thinking 4. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that. 5 and 11 is not the same thing. It's the 4 and the 11 is the same thing. Now, what was your question? You said sharp 11. You said, say that again.
Yeah, it seems like, okay, I just wasn't thinking. I guess it's kind of, my guess is it's being used as it resolves to C minor. So my guess is it's just a major 7th sharp 11th chord as a tritone substitution for a G. That's just my guess. I didn't think about it as that though until I saw your software.
The software, right. The software really can help you out sometimes when you have these crazy chords. Because I don't play this chord. I don't think I've ever played this chord until just now in my life, to be honest with you. But they, you know that a lot of times, and I see that they done this with this chord. They also will write a chord as a slash chord to say, well, it's a F sus2 over D flat. Wow, hold up. That's what it's, oh, I'm sorry, not to sus4. I'm sorry, F sus4. Let me, this is the way you gave it to me, right? This was the way you gave it to me. And they're saying that's a F sus2 over D flat. So if you look at it, if you look at what you're doing on the right hand, you are playing the F sus2 chord. That's exactly what you're playing. And then you're putting a D flat over it. So that, in my mind, I think, let's say I was writing a chord sheet out for a song, right? I would literally write F sus2 over D flat just because it's the easiest way for me to remember. I don't have to have all the fancy chord names memorized. I'm like, give it to me easy. I'm a simple dude. So in theory, I would personally call it just a F sus2 over D flat. You know what I'm saying? But that's the best I can give you because, again, I'm not the know-all. But I can tell you what I would do. I would literally, honestly, if I was writing a song and I came up with that chord, I would write, because I do this a lot of times when I'm learning how to play a song or whatever, and I'm actually writing out these chords, because especially if I'm learning a song by ear and I don't have sheet music, and it's like, let's say I finally figure out what the chord is, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, and then I'll sit down and I'll be like, well, should I write it out as D flat major 7 flat 5, or maybe I should write it out as a F sus2 over D? Like, I literally sit down and figure out what's the best ways for people to understand it. So in my limited knowledge of theory, I would write it as a F sus2 over D flat and go on about my merry way. That's just me. That's just me. Did you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, you can feel free to hang out if you want. Let's say you play something. You sound like you can play. What, you got something you can play for us real quick?
Well, I'm in love with these 3 chords from the intro to this Free Nationals album.
Okay.
The song's called Obituaries, and it's just a. Can you hear that? Okay.
Ooh, absolutely, I can. Yes.
It's F major 7 to B major 7, but then to like a A sus 13. So it's.
What's that last chord?
I think it's
A something.
A sus 13. I think.
Oh.
I'm kind of playing like a G major 7 with the A in the bass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And see, and that's what I would call it on my chord sheet. I would say G major 7 over A. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where I'll be like, okay, so you did something like that is what you was doing. Not exactly, but that's something you was playing, something like that.
Yeah, it was just F
Something
major
like
7, B major 7 to that
G
bass.
major over A.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's nice right there. I'm doing major 9, major 9, major 9. Ah, sweeten it up. Put those major 9s in there, man. You can sweeten it up even more, man.
See, I got that on Keyscape. What he got, I got that on.
I know, right? Yeah. But he got the real thing.
Yeah, he's got the real thing.
He got the real thing, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Well,
I did major 7. That's why I said. I mean major 9, and then I did the. Yeah. But all right, what you was getting ready to say something, Evan? I'm sorry.
And then the second half of it is this is the cool part. Well, that's cool too, but they do E. So it's just E flat major. To this, I don't know what to call this chord. It's like an Erykah Badu chord.
Is that what you call it, the Erykah Badu chord?
Well,
well, tell you what. Call out the notes. What you doing on the left hand?
well, it's a F sharp in the bass.
F sharp in the bass.
And then kind of a.
Let me show my screen so people can see what I'm doing. Okay, go ahead. F sharp in the bass.
Yeah. We'll call it G flat. G flat. A flat. Okay. B. D flat, and then G flat.
Oh, so it is, yeah, A flat minus 7. Now you're just doing just G flat on the left hand, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So that's
what you okay. So you know what, on your right hand, yeah, that is an A flat minor 7 that you're playing on the right hand, but instead of playing the 5th, you're playing the 4th. D flat is the 4th. That's why on my screen it says 4, like you're adding a 4.
Okay.
And then you're just putting it over G flat. And that's how they have it written. So yeah. A flat minor 7. Now, if you add the 5th, that's going to be minor 11. Right? Like, okay, I'm playing it over A flat. If you go ahead on and add that E flat as well, now you have an A flat minor 11, and then you can put it over G flat. And that gives you one extra note to hit in there,
yeah,
to make it even sweeter. So now you can do A flat C flat, D flat, E flat, and then G flat on your right hand. And of course, yeah, that's all that is. Yeah. A flat minor. Well, you can either say add 4. If you do not play the minor 7, then they're going to call it the add 4. But if you add that 7 in there, then they're just going to say it's an A flat minor 11. Yeah. You say that's the Erykah Badu chord.
Well,
huh?
it's the first chord of Other Side of the Game, so it's
Okay. Man, why are you looking at my tutorials, man? I need to be looking at your tutorials, man, the way you play.
because I can't hear. I'm slowly starting to get better at finding chords. It just takes time. But what I wanted to show you was this turnaround that they do. So it's E flat, whatever that is, and then B. It's something. It goes out of the key. So it's just starts in E flat, does that Erykah Badu chord, B major 7 or B major 9 or whatever.
Okay.
And then like I think this is D flat sus.
Sus 2 or sus 4? Because that's a sus 4 I'm playing right now.
Well, I mean, I got the second in there too.
Oh, so sus 2 and 4 then basically.
This can hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I thought your program could for a second.
Oh no. Oh no, that was me playing. That was me physically playing. You said you did an E flat chord. I'm doing major 7. Is that what you're doing? E flat major 7?
That's the first one, yeah.
Okay, and then you went to what again?
Erykah Badu. Not that one.
Oh, which one? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, hold up. I'm doing okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it goes to B, like B9, B major 9.
Okay, I'm doing a B major 13 because I'm just fancy like that. But
yeah.
All right, but that's tight. Let me do. I'm doing an E flat major now. Let me see what it sounds like. Hey y'all, I'm still in some of his chords, y'all. Y'all literally watching me still in his chords, y'all.
You a thief. You can't talk about Brandy no
I know,
more.
right? I'm being a thief now. I'm still in your chords. Usually people steal my chords, but I'm like, yeah, that's nice little turnaround.
I no longer talk about Brandy.
Oh, I'm still talking about her. What else you got that I can steal from you?
Well, after that B, it goes to that D flat sus chord. Yeah, and then resolve that to that E flat major again. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I ended up liking about it was.
And this is a Robert Glasper song, you said?
No, that chord was from Afro Blue. This is Obituaries by Free Nationals.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, but okay.
They have they perform with Anderson Paak. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Mm-hmm. I'm just making sure there's no new questions coming up. But man, I'm having fun like listening to your chords though, man.
I didn't see any new questions.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, what else you got for us, man?
What other chords?
I'm loving I'm loving being a thief for once in my life.
I like to do this. I like to kind of like. This is stupid, but I like to play. It's just a G major 7th chord, but I use my thumb to play because I got small hands.
Oh yeah, I got small. Yeah, you use your thumb to play the G and the A. That makes it a 9 then. Major 9. That makes it G major 9.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that before because I have fat fingers too. I used to in high school when I was learning how to play. I had this young lady say, "You got chicken fingers. How you play the piano with chicken fingers?" She later apologized, like on Facebook with Facebook friends. She was like, "I'm sorry, I said that." I'm like, "Oh, it's all good. I'm making my money playing piano now." So
you ruined my life.
You ain't hurt nothing. Like you ain't hurt nothing, girl. It's all right. But
I do like I do that also with the A minor. You hit the B and the C with the thumb.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Right.
But like most of the chords I steal from your videos. So
So you're the real thief. Got you.
yeah.
Okay, you're the real. Okay, y'all heard that. You heard that, D. Y'all heard that. He's how
Oh
you get.
God! Why
He's
did
the
you
real
tell him
thief.
that?
He's a
Why?
thiefist.
Why you say that?
Yeah, did you do the tutorial for did you do a tutorial for Rain by SWV?
Oh yeah, I've done it a while ago.
That was one that I
Yeah, go ahead, play it. Let me hear you play it. Yeah, play it. Yeah, I love that song.
I
Yeah,
like that chord there.
E over F sharp. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, listen to you doing putting all that fanciness in there.
Yeah, how does the bass come through on there? Probably not that good.
I can hear it pretty decent, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that
I mean, I can tell it's not a direct link like my keyboard is directly linked it to my system, but nah, I hear it pretty good. I hear your keyboard pretty well.
I think you also did a tutorial for
That's Anita Baker, right?
yeah.
Which one? Which Anita song?
Rapture? Is that Rapture?
Okay,
Yeah,
Rapture. Yeah, caught up in a Rapture. I'm like, I was like, I recognize the chords. I know it's Anita Baker. I have a lot of Anita Baker. I've been commissioned to do a lot of her songs. I did one of them recently. I'm trying to think. Was Rapture? No, it was something else. I did something else like recently, like within the last 2 or 3 weeks or something by her.
Did you say commissioned?
I have commissioned.
So
I was talking about Anita Baker just now.
Tutorial?
I
could pay you to do a tutorial. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. I've been doing that since 2016, man.
I didn't know that. I've been freeloading.
Okay, I would say like 99% of the tutorials on my channel are tutorials that people have paid for. I usually do not have a time to just do stuff that I like to do. Maybe in the early days of the channel, a lot of it was just me putting it up there, but that was me building my channel to let people know, hey, I know how to play the piano, y'all. Here's some songs. But, you know, like beginning of 2017, people started sending in that money. And I was like, oh, okay. Hey, what? Oh, okay. What? Okay. Hey, okay. So 2021, they still sending in the money saying, hey, do this, do that. So yeah, most of my tutorials are like, they're paid. Yeah. I used to actually, I'm not going to get into the reason why I stopped doing it, but I used to actually shout out the people that actually would pay it. For if you look at a certain era in my videos, you'll see I'd be like, I'd like to give a shout out to so-and-so for sponsoring this tutorial. I'm not going to get into why I've stopped doing that, but yeah, it's the information is always in the description box. If you go into my description box, you'll see the fee, the links, and all that good stuff.
All right, I didn't know I was. Well, I knew I was freeloading, but I didn't know I was freeloading. You know?
Well, you can always, you got the Cash App right here. If you ever want to make a donation, you got my Patreon page. If you want to support, if you feel like you're freeloading, if you really feel like you're freeloading and you want to send some money my way, click that description box. You can always send some money. I always say thank you.
I just pay him. I haven't got no lessons. I just pay him.
Yeah, she just pays me. I don't do nothing for her either, man. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Absolutely,
I just give away money every month.
Yeah, she sure does on the Patreon. Yep.
Did you know they're coming out with the new roads?
No, I didn't know that. I thought they stopped making roads. Well, I guess
they did stop, and then they're starting up again. They're calling it the Mark 8.
Oh, because the Mark 7 was the last. Yeah, was okay. Wow. So when is that supposed to come out? Ordinary Just Won't Do by Commissioned. Yeah, I did that tutorial already, actually. Arturo, Cindy, you said something about, Ordinary Just Won't Do. I have a tutorial for that. So just check my thing. Boys to Men, Let It Snow is something I liked y'all play. I mean, Christmas coming soon. I have a tutorial for that song, too. Arturo, I'm not sure how long you've been on my channel, but yeah, I have tutorials already for both of those songs. I have a tutorial for Let It Snow and for Ordinary Just Won't Do. So just type in those titles and type House of Jazz next to it, and I'm sure those videos will come right up. It's already been done. So you said Mark 8. Oh, he ran away for a second, but that's interesting. So it makes sense because I think they will make money because a lot of people will, we like you have the a real roads. There's a lot of us that would love to have an authentic road. So if they want to make a new one, when is it supposed to come out?
They haven't announced a date yet, but there's like some newsletter that you can subscribe for. Just type in like roads. I don't even know what you'd type in.
Oh, okay.
There's a company in Leeds, England that bought the name.
Okay.
And they showed a picture of it. It looks okay. It looks ugly compared to like the older ones.
The 7, yeah.
But it'll have like onboard effects, so you could just flip a bunch of switches and you get chorus.
Of course, they're going to modernize it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to do that.
But I still like the vintage vibe. I've never played one, but the videos I've seen of those, I don't know if you've seen those.
Now, I don't really look at a lot of videos of that because I'm too busy making my own videos.
Right.
But I've played on the roads in a store. I don't know if the store still has one. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. And for those of you that live in this area, y'all might know a store called Bill's Music. Bill's Music has a road. I think it's the same colors. Now I don't know which one it is, but it looked like it could be like you. And I've sat down and played on that. Now it needs work, but I was just like, wow, man, I should get this. Then I was like, how am I going to get it in this house down these basement? And I'm like, never mind. I said, never mind. I said, it's be too much work.
Would you
to
say
get
a
it in
number
here, but
system is the best way to learn how to create good chord progression?
say that again.
I was just reading what Fresh Sounds Florida said.
Oh, okay. I have a question that just popped up. Yeah, how long have you had your roads too? While I'm reading this question.
I bought it like 4 years ago.
He changed his name to Spooky. Okay, go ahead. You said 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was like $1,000, I think, at the time.
Oh, that's a good price. If that's all you paid. Oh,
yeah, and all the notes played on it, which was the big deal for me. But then I learned how to, like, I'm a piano technician, so I kind of already knew some stuff.
Gotcha.
So I did all their modifications to make it play better. They got something called a pedestal bump that you install on the back of the key that makes it snappier and it makes it play better. Otherwise, they sound kind of like they feel like sponges when you play.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
the
most
one
of
that
them,
I played, the one does, but I was just assuming it's just wear and tear because you know what I'm saying? Would that be the reason why they feel spongy?
No, there was
because of wear and tear.
There's like ones that were built between 76 and 82 had like the back of the pedestal was flat and there was supposed to be this bump on it, but they kept trying to save money and making them cheaper and not as good.
Oh, why do they do that? Oh my god!
Right, so you got to do all these things just to make them sound good now.
Okay. Well, we can't call him the vegan no more because he's coming on here calling himself the spook. But let me answer this question first. Would you say the number system is the best way to learn how to create good chord progressions? Absolutely. Yeah. If you're talking about chord progressions, absolutely yes, absolutely. Because once you will figure out really quickly that a lot of songs use a lot of the same progressions, especially once you start learning. I always do this because this is funny. Check this. Just listen to this chord progression. I'm gonna play a couple of chords and I'm gonna sing 2 different songs to these same chords. Like one is a gospel song and one is a Jackson 5 song. I've done this before. You and I must make a pact. Y'all know that song, right? We must bring salvation back, right? Okay, y'all know that, right? I'll be there, right? But let's go into gospel and go, give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. I mean, the exact same progression.
Yeah.
It just amazes me. It's like, hold up. So is I'll Be There by the Jackson Fives? Is that a worldly song or is it a gospel song? Because in church, we play those chords and we say, give thanks. But when the Jackson goes on stage, they say, I'll be there.
Right.
It's just amazing. So I would say the number system is definitely good for just learning chord progression, like in starting to learn. My intro that I do, sir, House of Jazz, piano tutorial. A lot of people, I've said it on here, but that is nothing but a 2-5-1 progression.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is. It's a 2-5-1. 2, and then I go to a 5. I'll let y'all see the screen just in case y'all forgot what the notes are. You know, sometimes I play it like that. No, I never play it. I think I always play it like this. Okay, so yeah, sometimes my fingers might do something different, but most of the time, C minor 7 flat 5. So this is a 2 because I'm in the key of B flat, right? I'm in the key of B flat. So B flat is 1, C is 2. And 2 you're supposed to play minor. In the number system, you know, 2 and 3 are minor. So I'm playing a minor chord. I'm playing, actually it's a half diminished chord, but diminished is a part of the minor family if you kind of think of it. So it's a part of the minor family. So and then I'm going to a 5 because I'm going to F in the key of B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. F is 5, right? And what I think I'm doing sus4, and then I resolve it. So I'm doing an F7. I'm doing a dominant 7, and I suspend it. Then I resolve it. Then I just hit the C just to give it a nice little flavor, and then I go to the 1, B flat major 9. So what that is, that's a 2, 5, 1. So yeah, like I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, learn that number system, man.
And sometimes your 6 is a minor too, right?
Yeah,
sometimes.
6 is minor too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But,
you got major, minor, minor, major, dominant, minor, diminished.
Mm-hmm.
Usually is that. What's
But
going on? We
something,
can't, like I said, we can't call you vegan no more. But what's going on? The spook, or is that spooky? Is that supposed to be spook?
Hey, Jazz, I just wanted to.
Oh, spooky. Okay, there you go. I was really hoping you wasn't calling yourself spook.
I just wanted to say it was something you had said something a while back, real quick, about knowing. Somebody said knowing your chord. You had to know all of your chords. I was on this musician page on Facebook, and the bass player, they said they just hired a piano player, and all he does is play in transpose. And so the bass player is like really stuck. and
Y'all
he's
transpose button users.
Yes.
Shame on you. Evan, I see you over there hitting that transpose button that doesn't exist on there. Go ahead, Dave.
And so he said he said it was horrible because on a bass guitar there's no transpose, and he was like, okay, you got to help me here. What are you hitting? And you know, when a piano player can't tell you what they're doing because they don't know their keys because they transposing, it will mess you up. And so the guy was like, what should I do? I was like, well, y'all need to get together and y'all need to, I mean, y'all got to figure that out.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm playing with somebody now, and that's all he does is transpose. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm in C, but you're playing like in an E flat.
See, what you need to do is you need to open up, when he's not looking, you need to open up his keyboard and snip those wires that's underneath the transpose button so that when he goes to press it, it just don't work, but you got to put it back real neatly so he can't know that something happened. And whatever, you just snip it, snip. And then you're like, okay, you ready to play? And then when he goes to hit that transpose, and then you can say, I guess you're fired, man. If you don't know how to play the song, then we can't keep you here if you don't know how to play.
Look,
I know I'm being mean. That's just me.
I stress it to everybody. Please, please, please know your chords, all of them. You have to know your chords,
And it
all of
takes time.
them. Oh yeah, it takes time, but please know all of them. All of them. It's important.
To have a good ear. Nobody needs to be reliant on note names. Um, I mean,
That
yeah,
just
and
that just
no.
depends.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't. I love note names too. I really do. But at the same time, you should be able to know. You should know how to relate the number to that chord,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
You show. So you. I really think you
I
should be able to do both.
yeah.
You should know the names of that chord, and you should
And the
also
number
know
system.
that number system is they go hand in hand. I think. I feel.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
well,
Because my
part of
bass
the
player, he
part of
know
it
nothing
isn't
but numbers. He's numbers all the way. He's just like,
What was you
part
gonna
of
say?
like
Spooky.
it's definitely a good tool to learn by ear. Like that's something that you're told all the time. Of course, it makes sense. If you
oh
want to
yeah,
learn a song, and it's better if you can just listen to it, interpret the intervals, put it down on your instrument. But at the same time, if you're going to be a musician, you have to communicate with other musicians. And
oh
if
yeah,
Yes,
you don't
communication.
understand, like a big thing with the number
I'll be
system
right
is
back, y'all. Keep
it's a
talking.
lot.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Like if you're communicating a song, it's gonna be a lot easier to be like, okay, so it's the one to like a five with a flat third, or a 1 1 2 5, than to try and sit there and be like, hold up, let me just play through the whole song so I can figure out what the exact chords are
right,
and
right.
explain it to you, because then the other person's gonna sit there and wait. When if you can understand what you're working with, you don't even have to think about it too hard, because you could just see, okay, this is the first. You could basically just look at it, just the first note of each chord, and like, okay, so it's the 1 5 blah 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 blah. They get it. But if you're just going off of learning by ear, it's hard to communicate what you've learned by ear to someone else without having that language in there.
Yep, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's what you gotta do. That's how you talk musician talk. Uh, just that's what you gotta do it. That way, is that very important how to do it. To
Because
talk
I'm
musician talk. C minor
um
seven, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause as it right now, I'm helping my little brother figure out music stuff, and right, that's how I communicate to him so that it makes sense to him. Like, I started off with, getting him to understand the chord types, and when I was even right from the beginning, I was explaining that the chord that if I'm explaining a chord, I'm gonna say the 1 or the 5 or whatever, because that way it doesn't matter what key
Key
or
you're
mode
in.
he's in. He could just be like, oh, okay. If I say the 5, it's gonna be, if it's the 5, it's just the fifth note and the relative third and fifth, and he can then interpret if I say, third flat 5, or major minor, or something like that. It's just a lot easier to communicate that way.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I get it. I get it. But I still think you should know both, though.
Most
But you
certainly.
said you with your brother. You say you talk to him in numbers, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing about it is that okay, yeah, you talk to him in numbers, but he's still got to know what those chords are.
Yep. And
You know what
we
I'm saying? So
talked about
you
that. Yep.
still got to know the chords.
Yeah.
There's no
But
way around it.
yeah, but that what I'm saying is, like, I'm teaching like in the chorus. Like last time we talked, we went over like we were going over suspended chords, and the difference
Mm-hmm.
between us, like a suspended two and a ninth chord, right? Stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So we go over the chords, but then
Right.
right after I explain that, I'll go right back to, so then if we're gonna say, let's say we're in C, let's just go with C major because that's the easiest to think about. I would
Mm-hmm.
just say, okay, now I want you to give me, I want you to, instead of go, after I explain all that, I'd be like, all right, so give me the one major minor, for example. So then he would have to sit there and go, okay, so the one is C, and then be a major, and then you have to think about it, because I would have just to explain to him that a major minor would be a major chord with a major minor seventh rather, and then
Mm-hmm.
he'd have to sit there and figure that out, but he's still thinking about it as the one, so it's just easier to communicate that he doesn't. I don't know if he's certain that when we go forward and he starts to understand switching keys, that he'll be able to communicate that understanding or not, but that's kind of the idea.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he got to start somewhere. I mean, you're doing right with, because again, he got to know the chords, but then as he's learning them in a number sense. So, I mean, he should be fine.
If I do a good enough job, he should do better in this first year of learning how music works than I did, where my understanding of music started out with me just hitting the keys, and when things sounded nice, I was like, all right, there we go,
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Right, exactly. Don't ask me what I'm playing, but yeah. What are your takes on improv? I'll let you speak first. Spooky.
I love
What's
it.
your thoughts on improv?
I love it. I
It's
want
freedom.
I love doing it, and I love listening to just someone improv in jazz. It makes me happy. That's it. That's what I got to say about improv.
Improv. You just asked a basic question. You didn't like really dive deep into it, so I'll just kind of answer it the same way you did. With a good way with improv, I'm gonna tell you a foundation, a good foundation. If you're trying to, and I'm not even, if you trying to hire a musician and you want them to do a lot of improv, I would tell you in a second, don't even hire me, man. I'm like this. I'm not. But I'm just saying. But if you like, but improv is like one of the first things I would say that you really need to learn is your scales, and then that's where I would say scales and your minor scales start there because that's a good starting point. You know what I'm saying? Learning your scales, like, and then learn the minor scale. That is a wonderful starting point. And then from there, you can kind of just start exploring different notes and whatever. So, like I said, you didn't really ask a question. You just simply said, "What's my thoughts on improv?" Improv is wonderful. It's great. It's not even meant to be imitated. Here's the thing. Now this question hasn't come up on a lot of tutorials, but sometimes, someone pays me to do the tutorial, and maybe that song has a particular solo that is like just like super famous, and it's like, hey, well, what about you didn't play that part, and I'm like, because that was that man's solo. It's like you shouldn't be sitting down trying to just imitate somebody else's solo. Like if a musician is doing some type of improv or whatever, you shouldn't be sitting down like, okay, I want to play it just like he played. No, you should be able to do your own thing. And I'm like, so no, I'm not going to sit down an extra half hour, 45 minutes and figure out another man's solo or improv. Now, it's different. There are some songs where you might have some type of melodic thing that's just a part of the song. It's not really a solo or whatever. When there's stuff like that, I will include that in my tutorials. But if let's say I've never done a tutorial on "Beat It" or anything by Michael Jackson, but let's just say someone asked me to do it, and then you get to Van Halen's solo and be like, "Well, can you tell us on the piano what he played?" I'm gonna be like, "No." Okay, so that's just some of my thoughts on improv. It's like, man, yeah, a lot of blues scales would definitely help. You're right, fresh sounds. Yeah, for even in jazz, yeah, blues scales, definitely. Let me see what else we got. How do you use? Okay, we got another question. How do you use those skills to improv though? Well, no. What I'm saying is, let's say if you're, I'm not really. I mean, you can use. I wasn't saying that, okay, to improv you just play a major scale or a minor scale. But what I'm saying is that it's a good starting point for you to kind of, you know, first of all, train your fingers on moving up and down the piano first. That's always a great starting point. And but nah, you definitely don't want to just stick to that because that's going to be like the worst solo and improv ever if you just stick to that.
So
I like to know people just don't run up and down scales over the changes.
so what
Nah, it's some stuff. It's a feeling, to be honest with you, and it comes with learning your instrument. and becoming one with your instrument. When a true improv, a true solo, it's like, but when I said scales, you're absolutely right. Just playing scales over top of um just the chord changes, yeah, that's extremely boring. But
Well, I would
you
say
will
that.
develop, in my opinion, as you okay, you now please don't think I'm like like saying don't do this and then I'm saying do this. I literally said about a minute ago, you don't want to sit down and learn how to play somebody's solo or improv like note for note. But at the same time, if you're interested in being able to do that type of stuff, you probably do want to at least sit down and listen to people that does it all the time, that do it all the time, and just kind of just just see where they're going. And then when you sit down at the piano, and let's say you have a song and you just want to try to do your own improv. First off, you want to learn how to play those chords with your left hand, because that's going to be really important. So that means if you're like me, I love playing chords with my right hand. I do play chords with my left hand, but not that often. Not that often. The intro to Ribbon in the Sky, I'm definitely using my left hand. I can't play that intro without using my left hand, but ordinarily. But if you're like me, you're gonna improv. You definitely gonna want to learn how to play those chords that you're playing with your right hand, and you want to play them with your left hand. First off, once you get that down, like I said, you can play. You say you don't want to hear somebody just playing scales over top of the changes. Maybe ultimately you don't want to hear that, but if you're just starting out, maybe that's exactly what you want to do as you're teaching yourself, as you're learning. So let's say you're playing like a A flat, let's say minor 7. So let's say you're playing an A flat minor 7 with your right hand, and then you might just play with the A flat minor scale a little bit. Well, let me so y'all can see what I'm playing first. I forget I got this software up so y'all can actually see what I'm playing. So let's let's say I'm doing A flat minor 7 on my right hand, and then you got your A flat minor scale, and you can go. All I'm doing is just playing the notes of A. I ain't doing nothing but just fooling around. And like I said, this is a good way to start. Okay, if you look at my left hand, I'm playing A flat, C flat, E flat, and G flat. So on my right hand, I'm kind of just playing those exact same notes, but I'm just kind of playing around with them. Just and that's a good way to start. Like, okay, well, I'm playing these notes on my left hand, so play them on my right hand. And like I said, what you do is you just start playing around. Eventually, you'll come out of it, and you won't find yourself having to be stuck to just playing the chord changes, like the person said, just playing chord changes and that's it. But that comes with time, and all I'm saying is that it's a good practice to just start with the scales. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you need to start and end with the scales. Absolutely not. But it's definitely a good practice. That's all I'm saying. What's going on, Mitch? Right, Mitch?
Right. Right.
All right, let me see. Let me see if there was any other questions. Say I have the basics down. Where do I go from there? I'm not necessarily the best to answer that, but you got it, Spooky. Your hand is up like you're in class, so you got an answer for that one?
Well, as probably the most novice musician here, just I would say that the thing is about improv that I think is very important is that part of it is definitely getting down, understanding what you're working with, right? but a
Mm-hmm.
large part of it is kind of letting go of that of the first kind of letting go of the rules, and second
Yes.
letting yourself
I
feel the
agree.
music, because
Yeah.
you'll for so like part of the uniqueness of a solo is because I'm someone who I will just drift away on specific just on an instrument in general, but most of the time on the piano because I feel like I have the most freedom to do that, and my brain will just wander and do things. And what happens is I noticed someone said something in the in here about not about the notes not to play, and I say there is no such thing as notes not to play, because the second you play a wrong note, all that is character that you can play off of and then completely change the entire tone of what you're working with.
Right.
Okay. What's going on, Ron? It's a funny story that Herbie Hancock has told. If there's anybody that wants to hop on the panel, feel free. It's funny that you said wrong note. Herbie Hancock, I believe, said he was playing with
Wow.
what's the trumpet? Oh my goodness,
Miles
Miles Davis.
Davis.
Miles, thank you. He said he was playing with Miles Davis, and he said that he played something. He said he played something, and Herbie didn't mean to play it. Let's just put it that way. But Herbie played it, and he said, and Miles Davis just followed whatever he did. It's like it literally was like, there's no wrong note, nah. Ain't no bad notes.
Mhm.
So it's funny that you just said that because literally Herbie Hancock said he learned that from Miles Davis that day. He was like,
Well,
okay, well, he's like, I just play whatever you play. That's what I play.
I feel like a large part of music is people. I feel like people definitely get tied down a lot with, okay, there's rules and this and that. It's like, well,
Mhm.
music is still art. Yeah, it's just like with painting or drawing or anything. Yes, there's rules which kind of teach you how to. They're not really like rules so much as they're a way for you to have a box to start to make sense of the whole picture. But once you
It's
understand
a
that,
foundation.
yeah, once you understand that, you break out of the box, and now you know how to navigate something that has nigh infinite possibilities. You can you can make something like the idea of a wrong note to me. Ever since I've delved my brain into jazz, has been such a silly concept, because when you just listen to jazz,
Mhm.
you hear it, these notes that most people would think, oh, what is that? Immediately will become something that's just a part of the character of the music, and become a repeated motif that
Hmm.
it's and to completely ape this quote from Adam Neely, if you know who that is, repetition legitimizes.
Mhm.
So when you take a wrong note and you keep using it, it becomes more musical, and it becomes more legitimate, and it just goes into the flow. And flaws are a part of what music is, especially
Mhm.
if you're going to be improvising. So if
Right.
you're sitting there and you're going to town on whatever instrument you play, and you play a wrong
Yeah.
note, just go with it. Go with the flow. That note is now a part of what you're doing.
Arturo said something earlier. He said something about butter notes equal bottom notes, and
Bottom
then he
note.
also said Miles told Herbie not to play the bottom notes, and Herbie misheard it as butter notes.
That's funny. I never heard that particular story before. Ron, y'all should know who Ron is. He's been on my live
Mhm.
streams for like what the last 2-3 years.
Mhm.
He said depending on the genre, it's a wrong and right way. I'm sure he's referring to improv and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I guess if you're playing for a general audience that's not as knowledgeable about
Mhm.
music, like okay, let's say you're at a pop concert. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like you start playing some stuff, and people might, to be honest with you, you might play a wrong note. They might not even realize. Let's just be honest. They might not even realize that it's a bad note. But if you're sitting in a jazz club, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, and people understand jazz, and you play something, and it might hold up. I didn't mean to do that, but all the other musicians fill in, then it's going to be perfect. But if Michael Jackson hired you to be his keyboard player, and you know what I'm saying, and then he gives you a spot to do a little solo, and you hitting some certain kind of notes, you might be fired by the end of that show. You might be fired by it. So that's what I'm saying. So, but if you were for a jazz band, they might be like, "Hey, man, that was tight what you did, man. Yeah, yeah." But then the next gig, you do the same thing, and they be like, "Dude, we gonna have to let you go, bro, because
doing
that
the
just
same
wasn't
thing.
right."
Yeah.
So I like what Ron said. It just depends.
Or the feel or vibe. We also had it.
Or they dock your pay, pretty much.
Yeah. James Brown was was definitely notorious for doing that. What he charge you like $50 every bad note or something?
Oh, he
So
also
a spooky. It's like if you was playing for James Brown back in the day, yeah, you could play all that nice, those other notes, but your check be like $500.
yeah. Ron,
taken
I
out of
think
it.
I think Ron also included. He said gospel, neo soul, jazz, and maybe R&B. You can get away with it, but with country and classic, no way. You can't.
Yeah, classical music. It's like they leave almost no room for freedom,
No.
and that's what I don't like about
That's
classical
why it
music.
bores me.
Yeah, that's I don't like. I'm like,
It
oh
bores
my
you.
goodness. No, but think about it, because it's like almost everybody plays those songs exactly the
The
same.
way it is,
Now,
and it
no
has to
one
be
can play anything
precise.
the same. No one plays anything exactly the same, but you know what I mean. It's like maybe they might have like a 3%, you know, window to maybe add a little bit of something in it,
Thing.
but mostly you hear one person play Moonlight Sonata. I'm not even thinking of that song. What's the what you call that song? What I know that song. What is it called?
Fur release.
Furry Lease, thank you. Okay, my bad, thank you. If you hear someone playing Furry Lease and then you go to the next person, they virtually are playing it almost the same way.
A
And
lot,
it's
yeah.
just like, but if you go to and listen to someone play some type of jazz standard song, you never know what you're going to get. And I love that.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, that's the thing I love about it. Because for me with classical music, that's the issue. Is that a lot of the nuance will be the vibrato that the violinist added. It's like, yeah, that's all great and all, but okay. It's like vibrato is nice, a nice small detail, but if something as simple as vibrato or the slight harmonics they added on top of the note, if these are the kinds of nuances that are going to be present, I'm bored. I can hear this song a handful of times, and if I can listen to it, if I can listen to different musicians interpret the same song and it's virtually the same,
Right.
there's nothing there that really intrigues me. I can appreciate it, but I want to like if you take, but if you like you said with jazz, so if you were to take Joe Pass, or if you were to take Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, and give them all the same song, you would get something completely different,
That's true.
and it would be
Yes.
fantastic.
Right,
Yeah.
because you get to be an artist. That's what we
Yeah.
call
It,
nowadays being able to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing. Like, I agree with the classical music, and I'm not saying this is not, hey, let's dog classical
like,
music.
and,
Please, you're
and
looking
I
at
think
someone that did 2 operas before he graduated high school. Okay, like leading roles in operas. I've done Handel's Messiah. I don't know how many times. I appreciate and I have a respect for classical music. All I'm simply saying is that I don't necessarily like not having the freedom. Now, there's a church, one of the churches that I've been singing off and on for like 20 something years. It's a Presbyterian church here in Baltimore. And at this church, sometimes we do, this church does it all. Like, during Christmas time, we might sing the Hallelujah chorus, but in that, sing it traditionally. But in that same concert, we might do Kurt Franklin, something from Kurt Franklin Christmas, whatever. And it's like, and if I had a solo on something that's classical, it's like, okay, the conductor, the director will be like, okay, now you gotta sing it like this, sing it like this. But then but if it's another song, he's just like, okay, yeah, just sing it however you want to sing it. and that's what I like. I like that. I like when I'm like, okay, yeah, well, yeah, you can fill it out, whatever. But and I hate it though if it's something classical and it's like, no, you got to do it like this. It just irks me. It makes me go, oh, but I want to sing it like this.
it's
Yeah, but you need to sing it like this, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to. I want to sing it like this.
it's
But that's
like
not traditional. Like, oh,
Hey,
fine.
Jazz.
It's all good.
Naheem Rafa wants to know how to do chord progression and passing chords.
Okay. What was you getting ready to say, Mitch? Were you getting ready to say something?
Yeah, I was saying because Fresh Sound Florida said earlier that with jazz, it's you when you play it and you just add you play it in whatever style is spontaneous. You just get spontaneity with whatever you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And who was it that asked the question?
Naheem Rafa.
Okay, this person right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rafa.
How to do chord progressions. A good start with chord progressions is the number system. I don't think there's a better way to get yourself, and we kind of talked about this earlier,
And passing chords.
and passing chords. The number system, your name is, excuse me,
Nahimi Rafa.
Nahimi. Are you already familiar with the number system? I'm talking that specifically to you, Nahimi. Are you already familiar with the number system? Because if not, if you are, then maybe if not, then I can probably do a 3-minute run through of the number system real quick and kind of just show you how that's a good way for learning the progressions. But yeah, I like Ron says classical music is more disciplined. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Fingering, it's got to be right, and classical is even your posture.
Precision. Yeah.
We haven't heard from Jay, not Jay part 5. You've been on the panel. I see you're still typing in the room, but you're on the panel, so you want to say something to us?
Oh, Joe.
Your microphone is muted. All you gotta do is just unmute it.
Wait,
Since
can
you're
you
on
hear me?
here, to say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Jay.
Really? Your name is
Hello,
not
Jay.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
I'm like, I see you in the chat room chatting. I'm like, but you're on the panel. You might as well turn your mic on and
Yeah,
just
I
talk
know.
on
I
it.
had to
If
go
you
for my
on here, you
mic
might
real
as
quick.
well. Okay, Nahima. Well, he said, "What is number system?" Okay,
he
he's
don't
not
know.
from.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, number. What the world? My phone. I'm sorry, y'all. My phone be having a mind of its own. Hold on. Come on. I'm on a live stream phone. Can you stop, please? Thank you. Dang. My phone just misbehave. But the number system is basically in a lot of pop music, there are a lot of chord progressions, which what you were asking about, that are like commonly used. They're commonly used in a lot of different songs. So somebody literally, I guess one day, I don't know who it was like noticing this and was like, man, you know what? They're always going from 1 to 4 to 5, or they're going from 7 to 3 to, and it's like, okay, so somebody literally sat down and figured out this number system. I'll tell you what. I have a video. Let me find it, and I'm gonna put a link in this comments box for you to go check out, where I have and it was a live. I think I might have did it on a live stream. It might be a pre-recorded video, but this video really explains the number system in detail, and I think I did it in the key of D flat, if I'm not mistaken. And because someone actually like literally paid me to do it. So let me see. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves while I look for this.
Okay, we can. He said we can talk about jazz, y'all. So
No, we can talk about D. Hold up. But yeah, this is like I said, because I'm like this is a really complete video. Let me see if I can
Of course,
find it.
Jewel trying to say for you to get rid of your Samsung. We ain't doing no Apple.
Juella, don't go there, sweetheart. Don't go there. You know you need to get rid of that Apple, okay? All right. So this is the video I'm referring to, y'all. It's right here. It's called "The Number System Explained," and I did this 2 years ago. So let me put the link to it. Let me put the link down. Hold on. So check this video out. Copying it now. Copy. Bring it over here. So anybody that would like to hear an explanation of me talking about the number system, that link right there. This video is how long? It's a 30-minute video. So this is me explaining the number system. Now I'm explaining it in the key of D flat, but I think I put a chart up on the screen eventually.
I thought I'd seen a chart.
Let me see. I'm just scrolling through it just to see. I guess I didn't put a chart up, but it's a lot of explaining.
I thought you.
Oh it is a chart. It's at the top. If you look at the top of the video, look up here. You see I have some information up here with chords and stuff. So it's pretty good. Shut up. Okay. So when you're looking at the video, I do have visuals at the top of there, so that you can see what I'm talking about and giving you different examples. So it's a pretty well produced video. So definitely check that out. And again, that's the link that's down there right now. Check that out. Now, that is in the key of D flat. However, you can take what I taught you in D flat and you can use that in any key. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I did it in D flat, because someone literally sent me a $75 super chat on a Saturday and said, "Can you do a video in D flat?" And I was like, yes. Money talks, right? So that's why the video is in D, is specifically in D flat. I remember, I think it was that Pookie Jenkins dude. I think it was the one that comes in the chat sometimes. But yeah, check that out. Check that out. And get rid of that Samsung. Hey, Juella, don't go there, sweetheart. Don't go there. All right. If y'all haven't checked it out yet, y'all should recognize Mitch. So he's been on this live stream, well, at least the Saturday live streams for like a year, 2 years, 5 years. He's been on them longer than I've been on here, and it's my channel. And he's been here longer, but he released a project September 7th. And it's everywhere where you can stream. So, yes, the Fruity Music, Apple Music, whatever it's called, you can get it there. Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, just whatever. Metadata, something. He's Media Net. Yeah, Media Net. Fishing Net. I mean, just everywhere you can find Pandora Net. But anyway, what you do is you want to type in, the artist name is Mitch Soul, the way you see it on the screen. I'll zoom in just for a second. Just type it just like that, Mitch Soul. That's his artist name right there. And then what you do is you type in Your Presence. Oh, you're welcome, Mahini. Nehemi. If I mispronounced your name, I apologize. Nehemi. But yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, check it out, man. It's his project. He has other projects that you'll see as well. So make sure you check them out. But let's get back to Jay, since this is the first time we heard Jay. How you doing, Jay? Like, did you have any questions?
Well, first of all, I'm doing quite okay. I think I did post a question, like passing chords for like gospel, like passing chords and like movements and stuff like that. Because I've been studying a lot of gospel lately, a lot of hymns and stuff like that.
So your question is specifically what? I know you said passing chords, but like what's your specific question?
I guess what are some cool ideas for like passing chords and movements?
Okay. Anybody wanted to jump in? Let me see.
As far as passing chords,
you mean something like that? Okay, so I play this chord, then I go to that chord, or I can go. something
Yes,
like that.
stuff like that, but like more advanced, I guess. Like
Like
stuff
Ron
like
said, depends on the hymn.
diminished stuff.
Depends on
Ron,
the
you might need
hymn.
to hop up on here, man.
I mean, I'm like Ron. It depends on the hymns. Depends on what you're playing.
It depends on what song.
Yeah.
I guess
Just
something like my maker and my king.
Are you in front of your keyboard right now?
Yeah, I got it beside me.
Okay, let me hear you. Do you have? Are you able to play passing chords now? You
Yes.
said you just want to play them more advanced, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me hear you play that hymn right now with the passing chords, and let's see what we can. Let's see if we can do anything.
Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
have a ridiculous. Can I share my? Am I able to share my
Yeah,
screen?
yeah. If you click share, I'll bring it up. Ridiculous is fine. I use Ridiculous on my tutorials for like 2.5 years, I think, maybe even 3 years. I'm familiar with that. You see the share button, right? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
We got it.
Oh, you
Okay,
guys
all
see
right.
it?
Yep, we
Okay.
can see you. We can see. Oh, but we can't hear it though.
Oh, you can't?
No, we can't hear, but we can see what you're doing. Oh, that's the new Ridiculous that just came out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I mean, I've seen the commercial for, but anyway, this is not a ridiculous live stream. But yeah, we don't hear it. Yeah, we don't hear. Can you? Are you plugged directly into your system, or how is your setup?
Well, I have a external USB port, so I have that going into my laptop.
Okay, and you don't have no audio going into your system for that. That's probably why we're not hearing it. Like the reason why you can hear my keyboard is because my keyboard is actually plugged into my audio interface as well as my microphone.
Oh.
That's the reason why you can hear. I have I'm not using a VST or anything. I'm actually using a Motif keyboard. So, but I guess we can kind of
I can maybe share the screen.
You said do what?
I can maybe share the screen and see if that
Okay,
would
you
work.
can try it. But when you are you on a Chrome browser?
Yeah.
Okay, when you click share screen, it's going to be a little check box that says share audio.
Yeah, I
Make sure
see
you
it.
check that as well.
Okay.
And we'll try it.
Will it start like echoing?
I'm not sure. We'll find out in a second.
All
If
right.
you do, I'll mute you, so it's not a problem. All right.
Okay, it says that. Be careful sharing screen audio. Other participants will hear themselves.
Okay. So testing. I don't hear myself. That's a good sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Good.
we can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you. Good. Perfect.
Okay. Let me.
Is there a way you can turn the volume up a little bit more? Or if not, don't worry about it.
Okay, I can.
Okay.
Let me just change the piano really quick because contact sometimes cuts out. I'm ridiculous.
Okay.
I'll pull up an upright.
I appreciate that, King 76BB. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'm still learning the song, but yeah. This is in it's in A flat.
Okay.
Okay. Ah, shoot. Ah, shoot.
Ron said it before I could say it. Keep playing.
Yeah, you sound good.
He said it before I could say it. I was going to let you finish.
Me too. I mean, shoot, you sound good. I don't know what you need help in.
Me neither.
Oh, really? I mean,
I'm sitting here like, can I take your class?
Right. Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Like Ron said, less is more.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't do too much. Less is more.
Well,
I agree.
I hear people like what's his name, Corey Henry, and
Oh, yeah.
people like
I
them.
mean,
Like,
you have to understand that people like Corey Henry
Corey
is just
Henry.
like they that's just like the exception, man.
Mm.
y'all know, but like even people like Cornell Gaskin, like
I
playing
know who
hymns
that
like
is. I know
that.
who that is.
Yeah, playing stuff like that, like the little like the reharms and stuff like that. Like I could reharm and stuff like that, but like those type of like those some of those things that just make you go, oh my goodness, like those type of things, like some of those inner movements that like you'll hear in chords, like this A flat, right, like stuff like that, those little things that you play in between those in those chords and stuff like that.
Hey, Ron done said a mouthful. He done. Ron is a quick trigger tonight.
Yeah. Now Ron made a good point. Now, when you're playing these hymns, are you playing these hymns with the thought of having the church sing while you're playing, or are you
No.
playing these as you will just go to church and be like, well, this is just my
Instrumental.
arrangement of it?
Yeah, like an arrangement of it.
Okay, well then you're fine. I was gonna say because if you're trying to play for a church to sing to, then you might need to
Yeah,
settle
you be
down.
doing
Yeah,
way
I
too
know.
much.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say you might need to settle down, but I will be honest with you. I am not an expert when it comes to like reharmonization and all that stuff, so I can't really help you with that particular question. But you really sound pretty daggone good, man.
Yeah, I mean, you sound good. I don't see
Right?
what you need help in. That sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Yeah,
Just yeah.
you're definitely. I mean, to be honest with you, you're already your passing chords that you're using. They're already like I'm like,
Yeah.
and I understand what you're saying. You're trying to be Corey Henry and all that, but who knows what they be doing?
Right. I
Well, I
mean, a lot
mean,
of times you have to feel
sound
that. A lot of times it's about feeling too. You know, feel what you play. But hey, you good, man. I mean, I'm sitting up there looking like, wow.
sound good. Very good.
Absolutely, man. I don't know if you just came on here just so that we could tell you that you sound good. I'm not sure, but
no,
you do. But you do.
I don't see what's the problem. That's great.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely am not the one that probably could help you advance that. You will have to go to what's his name, Daquan Bowens. Is that his name?
oh, I watch him.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody like Ken will probably really take you there. Like,
Yeah,
have any of his content help you?
yeah, a lot. Him like Daquan Bones, people like what's his name, Sean Wilson piano.
Oh yeah, Sean
Um,
Wilson. Yeah, another great guy. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know these people personally, so I'm up here giving them free shout out to my channel, and I've never talked to them a day in my life. But they both of them, I know both of them are like, yeah, they're incredible. Yeah,
yeah.
incredible musicians, absolutely, with good channels.
Yeah. I beat Ron this time because I said it's about feeling. But like Ron said, feeling, timing, and rhythm. Rhythm.
But I think you already know that. You
Yeah,
just want to be able to take yours to the next level, man.
yeah. It's just a lot of transcribing I've been doing, and it's just what can I throw in like to make this sound a lot more advanced, you know?
Well, it already sounds advanced.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
just be honest.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. It's already advanced. But at the same time, I do understand what you're asking. I do understand.
Yeah.
I just wish I could help you, man, but I can't. Like, yeah, well, what you're doing is really great, and I'm not going to sit up here and try to say something to try to make myself sound good. I tell you all the time, if I can help you, I can. Bro, I can't help you, man.
Man,
You are like you're definitely doing it, man. You're
Yeah.
doing
Those
it,
are
definitely.
nice, man. Those nice.
Yeah,
well, thank
I
absolutely.
like some of them passing chords you done.
Look, she's sitting there like, can you play that again so she can steal them?
I can always go back and look at the show and get ads.
Right.
Stop, rewind, stop.
Right. Yeah, but nah, you're definitely. I'm honored that you actually coming on my channel trying to get some stuff from me. I'm like, nah, I need to go on your channel, bro. I need to go on yours. But definitely, very talented, man.
oh,
Definitely.
oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
problem.
Yep. That sounds good.
Divine,
Now,
hold
do
on,
you transpose or can you play in all keys?
Oh, I don't use the transpose button, but
Congratulations, you are now hired at D's church.
I mean, I can play in most keys, but I mean, I just kind of keep in my little circle of B flat and A flat and F sharp, kind of black keys.
Right. The keys with the
Right.
black notes. Right.
Yeah,
I feel you. I mean,
I don't like playing with the white keys.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because you're prejudiced. I got you. Yeah, you're prejudiced.
No,
I
not
got you.
No, not like that. A lot of gospel songs are
I
played
say,
in
man,
black keys,
I say
man.
that all the time, man. Don't pay me no
Don't,
mind.
don't pay him no attention. Don't pay
I
him
say
no
that stuff all the
attention.
time. Like, hey, man, why you gonna be prejudiced, man? You don't have to be prejudiced. The white keys need love too.
But I mean, that's
They can
fine
get
that
the
you
love with
play.
the grace notes.
Yeah, don't don't get so comfortable with the black keys. You learn all those keys because you're gonna be around some musicians. They play in like the E and the C's and the G's and stuff. So
Absolutely.
especially quartet, oh, they love the key of E, A, and B flat.
Yeah, the sharp keys, the ones that they
Yeah.
give the sharp names to, which is A, E, D, B.
Oh,
Yeah. So learn all of them. Very
I'm
important.
working my way around the circle of fourths.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely doing your thing.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Ron said, "You ain't lying, D."
Yes, indeed. Now let me ask. He said something about contact. What are you asking, Nahemi? You said, is it possible to have your contacts for advice? When you say contacts, are you talking about my phone number? Is that what you mean, or am I
he
misunderstanding
don't
that?
he don't give it out.
Yeah, I was getting ready to answer. Getting ready to say, nah.
He don't give
I'm
it
not
out.
gonna put that. Let's put it this way. I any day now, maybe tomorrow will hit 46,000 subscribers. So no, I'm not putting my phone number. I
Ron
am
said, "Barry,
absolutely.
go to info."
Oh, you said mail. Nah, I mean, email, sure. Instagram, sure. You can always, to be honest with you, you know what? Hit me up on Instagram if you have a question. You can always DM me. On Instagram, my name is House of Jazz, the same way I spell it here. My email, all my information is like in the description box. So if you just go to like the description box of any of those tutorial videos, you will see my email address, which is houseofjazz@yahoo.com. Or if you follow me on Instagram and you just need to ask a question or two or whatever on Instagram, you can literally just DM me on Instagram right there. And you know what I'm saying? As long as you're not, some type of stalker, I won't have to block you. But if you wind up being a stalker, then, I could just say block and be done. So, I like to do it that way.
Ron said Barry Gordy info.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, if you want to send an email, I will. I can't guarantee emails. I'm not good with. I'm just not good at emails. I really not. I'm just not. It's like I'm so behind on them. It's not even funny. So but yeah, just Instagram. You can always if you have a question, DM me on Instagram and follow me over there. Email address is houseofjazz@yahoo.com. So there you go if you need to get in contact with me. What's going on, Jackie L? How are you? Did you have any other questions that I cannot answer, Jay?
Well, I guess probably a simpler one. I did kind of start a YouTube channel the other day, kind of posting transcriptions of some songs. But how do you like work your way around songs, I guess, like explaining them?
What you mean? You mean how I do my tutorials, you mean?
Yeah, kind of like that. Like how, okay, let me see if I could word this right. Like, so first off, I should probably ask, do you like transcribe the songs before you start putting them? Like if someone were to request a song.
Okay. Oh, you want
Like
to know
yeah.
what? Oh, you trying to take over my job and become the tutorial man? I see. You want
No,
me? To,
I
you want me to give up my secret so that you can become the new piano tutorial man?
what? No,
Uh,
I had this down from like last month, man. I didn't even know about you like a week ago.
the way I do my okay, most of my requests, well, most of my videos are by request. They're by paid requests. So okay,
Okay.
so they usually hit me up on PayPal, whatever. Okay, so they get the song. Okay, first thing I do personally, I look for sheet music. Oh my goodness, because I'm behind on a lot of songs. You know what I'm saying? Between Patreon requests, people who are on my Patreon, and people that send in money on my PayPal for per song requests. I have a stack of songs, and I'm only one person. So if I can find sheet music for a song, I will buy it. I'll go to musicnotes.com or whatever. And so if I can just get the sheet music, I'm like, perfect. Hallelujah. And then I learn the song first, obviously. So and then I type out the chords. I sell chord sheets of everything that I do. It's basically like a chord chart, like just the name of the chords that I'm playing. So let's say I have to learn a song by ear. Okay, I'm learning it by ear. As I'm learning it, I'm typing the chord down. So let's say it's a new song, and I figure out, oh, that song, that first chord is an A flat minor 7. Then I type that in. I'll go A flat minor 7. Okay, and let's say the next chord is D flat 9, right? Then I'll okay D flat 9, and then I'm listening to the song or whatever. So once I'm finished the whole song, once I realize, okay, so that's the verse, chorus, I got the bridge, whatever. Then I'll go back and then I'll sit and actually learn how to play the song all the way through by looking at my chord sheet that I just created. So once I realize how I'm going to play the song, I don't usually sit and say, okay, how am I going to do the tutorial? How am I going to explain it? I just click record at that point. And it's like I don't rehearse how I'm teaching, how I'm going to teach this song. Maybe that's the question you're asking. I don't rehearse it, but I don't rehearse what I'm going to say in the tutorial. That flows naturally. But I do rehearse a song over and over and over and over and over again before I do the tutorial, because I want to make sure that I can play it well and make y'all think that I've been playing this song forever, even though I just learned how to play it 5 minutes ago. So I will rehearse, and then I set up all my software to, record it. I press record, and then I go at it, man. It's like I don't practice like how I actually explain. I guess I'm a teacher by nature. I actually taught music in the school system, well, private school, for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? Up until COVID happened. So I just that stuff just comes naturally. It's like my thing is teach a song chord by chord, note by note. That's how I teach my songs. You know what I'm saying? If you look at my videos, I always say, okay, on the left hand, you got blah, blah, blah. On the right hand, you got this. Okay, then the next chord. And I wish I could give you a better answer, but that's all I do. That's really it. I don't practice. I don't rehearse what I'm going to do. Now, I do practice the song. Yes, I practice playing the song, but I don't rehearse what I'm actually going to say once I press record. You know what I'm saying? When I press record, you never know what's going to come. I never know what's going to come out. So I be going off the dome at that part. Be quiet, D. But I go off.
You know I was gonna say something.
I don't know if that answered the question if that answered your question, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, cause I only started this YouTube channel cause a lot of producers, people that make music, stuff like that. They hear me play, cause I'm not a producer. I'm a kind of musician. I'm still in school, well, middle school. So I mean,
Yeah,
I was
you said you're only in middle school?
yeah, I'm
And
13.
playing like that, man. Wait till you get to high school. I figured you sounded like you were a little young.
I think he's
Okay.
older.
No, I actually, in my mind, I was like, he sounds like a young guy, but I didn't want to put it out there. But since he put it out there, that he's in middle school. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is safe to ask now. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, well, they usually ask, like, what are all those chords that you're playing, and like where do I learn all of this stuff? Because I used to play saxophone. Oh my gosh, classical saxophone. Well, I still do.
Okay.
Well, up until COVID, but a lot of that stuff, a lot of the music theory, I was able to get down quick when I started piano because I already knew all of that stuff before. So like a lot of that stuff, I kind of got from transcribing. So like maybe like this type of voicing. Like this is an E flat minor, right? You could have played it like this. Like there's so many ways you could play it, but I learned this. I think this is like a Robert Glasper chord. I got a chord from Robert Glasper.
Man, he's getting a lot of shine tonight on my stream. Okay, go ahead. Somebody else was talking about Robert Glasper earlier, but go ahead.
And I love his stuff. But like,
oh yeah, his stuff is great.
Chords
Crazy.
like that, I think that was played in like a 251 or something. But like stuff like that. So kind of analyzing those songs. So I'm not really doing a tutorial, but more like explaining the concepts. Like
Okay.
how this 251 was played, and what you can do to apply it to your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of explaining it like that, because I don't pre-record either. I kind of do
Right.
it on the fly, like you said too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's off the dome. I practiced the song, but then when I click record, whatever comes out, comes out. Half the time, if I play something wrong, if you look at my tutorials, I'll be like, "Oh, my good. Let me try that again. Hold up," and I leave it right in the video. Oh, well, let me try that again. The only time I don't do that when I'm demonstrating the song at the beginning. If I mess up, I'll just stop and start over. But like I'm talking about, like when you first click the song, like you click a video and then I just immediately start playing. I'm not saying anything. I'm just playing the song. Now I will stop and start over if I mess up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the only spot. Like, okay, so let's say I play it for like a minute and a half. Now, once I play it, if I play that song perfectly, or at least, 99% good, and then I say, "What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Sir House," and all that stuff. After that point, if I mess up, I'd be like, "Oh well, I'm rolling with the flow." Rolling with it. If I mess up, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, let me try that again, y'all."
Yeah, he confuse you, and he will confuse you. I'd be like,
Some people
"What?"
get confused, even though you sit there and break down every note and say, "Look, on the left hand, play D flat." I mean, even people whose name is D gets confused by that. I'm like, I just said play D flat. Isn't your name D? I don't get it. What is it? Why are you so confused? I don't get it.
He do
D?
confuse you. If you go back, be like, "What?"
And then I'll say on the right hand, play these notes. Like, and they'll be like, "I'm still confused." And I'm like, but I literally spelled out what chord I'm.
And then you go back and change it. Well, you can do that. Oh, well, wait a minute. No, we'll stick
I
right
give
here.
other options. Like, okay, if I say that this is another, you could play it this way. That means just that. Okay, or you could play it this way. What is so
He'll
confusing?
confuse you.
How is that confusing?
He don't confuse. I give him a hard time.
Yeah, she does this all the time, and I always gotta come back like, "What is so confusing? I'm the best piano tutorial man ever." No, I'm lying about that.
No.
I'm lying about that. Now I am lying about that, but we got Kasai back on the panel. He been dogging us like he don't be hanging out with us no more. What's up, Kasai? He be like, "Yo, man, I'm too good for y'all, man. Please, man, I'm doing shows and stuff. Yeah, what side? On the east side? What's up, Kasai?"
Naheem, it depends on you.
Nothing much, man. What's going on with you party people?
Man, we trying to be like you when we grow up, man. That's what's up. We just trying to be like you.
Yo, you need a better example then.
Hold on, I have another question here. Hold
Yeah,
on.
nah, it depends on you, Naheem, Rafa. It depends on you how long you want to do it.
Me, how long do I play the piano?
A day.
I don't play for learning anymore, if that makes sense. Because when I'm down here, I'm usually working on something. On Saturdays, we do live streams and we recreate music and stuff. So either I'm like yesterday I was down here recreating a track by Escape for someone to sing. So yeah, I was down here playing for hours and hours and hours, but I was actually recording and producing music. And then of course the other thing that I do when I'm down here is I'm learning how to play a song to make a tutorial. So I honestly I don't just sit down and play just to learn. You know, I don't do that. It's like when I'm down here, I'm actually working. So if you're asking how long you should play, if you're trying to learn, I would say as long as much time as you can humanly allow, because it's a lot to learn. The fact that there's 12 different keys to play in, it's a lot to learn. It's a lot. It's like, okay, you need to learn how to play a song in C sharp, D flat. You need to learn how to play in D. You need to learn how to play E. So I would just simply say dedicate as much time as possible. But if you're asking me personally, how long do I play a day? For learning purposes, I don't play at all. It's like I'm working. I'm literally I'm working. I'm down here and I'm working. So that's what it is. So
Me too. I don't actually learn. I'm working, getting songs prepared for Sundays or for another group or groups, I should say. So I don't really learn anything.
right.
I would say going along with what Jazz said, with as much time as you need, is also got to kind of figure out what works for you, because I know there's some people where they say they're practicing like 5, 6, 7 hours a day because
Yeah,
that's what
if you
they
got that
need.
time.
But
Yeah.
someone like me, the way I practice is I need to sit there, get the concept down if I'm practicing something, and the second then after I get it, my brain is like, nope, that's enough music for today. Better come back later. That's it.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
I try and do anything else, I'm just gonna sit there exhausting my brain, because then my brain's like,
yeah.
nope, I get it. Let me process this information. I'm done.
Right.
So you
Yep.
gotta you. It's not really determined on a necessarily amount of time. It depends on how your brain works. If you have a brain that needs to get it and then think about it, or
Yeah.
if you have a brain that needs to sit there doing it repeatedly, or if or some third thing that I can't think of right now, that's what you got to do. Don't think about it as necessarily being an amount of time.
Yeah. So a lot of times you can get bored with it. Like me, if I go, like I tell people, you can't do what another person does, and that's what there's one group that I used to be in. I tell them, just because you can sit here and go over and over and over and over it, that don't mean I can. Um, I'm the type I do it, and then I gotta go to something else. Cause if I keep going over and over again, I'll mess it up. But one person can do that, but I can't. I gotta do a little bit and then go on to the next song. I don't try to beat it up, because if you do, I get bored with it and I be like, I don't want to play it no more.
Because going further and how my brain works. Like, for example, when I was learning modes, right? It literally went like this. Just I already understood the basic, major, and minor, but I was going to learning the other modes. So first thing I had to do was just wrap my brain around Dorian. Now, doing that took me maybe like an hour or two sitting there getting it, and then my brain was like, nope, we're done with music right now. You're done for the day. You try anything else, then you're just gonna get frustrated. So okay, I'll come back later. Next time I sat down at the piano, when I after I rested and got to think about it, I literally was able to learn all the other modes in one sitting. But then once I was done with that again, I was like, okay, my brain is done. Time to move on, do something else in my life.
Okay. Got you. He did. I'm just seeing that he added to his question. He said, "When I was a beginner." In all honesty, I started in high school, and I literally would come. No, while I was in school, whenever I could get into a room that had a piano in it, I was playing it. As soon as I came home from school, I had a Casio keyboard. Yes, a Casio keyboard. and I was just playing it. It's like I was just. It's like any. It was just a passion for me, and I just. It's like I honestly I don't I never like monitored how long I'm sitting down practicing and learning or whatever. It's just something that just took over. Like prior to the keyboard, I was like any other dude that would come home and you play Super Mario Brothers, you play some Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis. You know what I'm saying? But once I got that music bug, when I got bitten by the music bug, and it was just like, and my father bought that keyboard, like when he finally bought that Casio keyboard, and he almost didn't buy it. Long story short, I asked my father if I could have a keyboard, and nobody in my family plays the piano. Okay, like in my household, and he's like, I ain't spending no money on some keyboard that you're gonna play once or twice and put it up. No. And long story short, my mother convinced him, like, the boy is an honor roll student. He never gets in trouble. He's just asking for a keyboard. Just give the boy a keyboard. Okay, long story short, buys the keyboard. And once I finally was able to get a keyboard here, I really was spending every waking moment on it. And I never had to time it because it was fun. It's like I was just, and because I was in school at the same time, I was a music major at school. I was a vocal music major, but as a vocal music major, even in high school, you had to take theory. So I was learning different stuff from music theory and stuff like that. And then I would ask my teachers questions about the piano, like, well, and they would say, oh yeah, well, like, especially when I was trying to teach myself how to read music and stuff. And they're like, well, yeah, every good boy does fine. If you see a note on the F line, that means you just play an F on the piano, blah, blah, blah. And of course, then you start learning how to read rhythms, whole notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 for a half note, quarter note, you get the eighth, 1 and 2 and 6, 1 E. And then I start learning the rhythm. And then before I knew it, I was opening up hymn books, and I was able to, take all that stuff I learned. And it's like everything just started happening. And I honestly can't remember when things just started clicking. It just started to click for me. And it's just like, the development just kept going and going. So, for me personally, I was just, whenever I could, it was just a passion. I couldn't help myself. Anybody else want to share that story? I couldn't help myself.
I didn't start till I was grown. I was already out of high school.
Yeah, she didn't start till she turned 50.
You know what, Jazz?
Right, Mitch? Right, Mitch?
Right. I didn't start till like I was maybe 21, 22, maybe 23. So anyway, I know I was in my early 20s. So, and I just started going down there to, it used to be called Gospel Sounds and More. And that's where I met Eric Poole. And he was back in the back, giving lessons and stuff. And I didn't know, I knew I had music in me, but, because our family is just nothing but, you're going to either be a singer or a musician, one or both, And so I started going to him, and he just started teaching me simple chords. Of course, the number system, the 1, 4, 5, 1. He said, you take that and you can play anything. And I say within the next month or so, like you said, Rich, it was just something just went boom, 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 just started clicking. Yeah. And I just took off within a month. And next thing I know, I was playing in all chords. It was just, I was just hungry. I was hungry for it. Every time like you, Rich, every time I got anywhere, I was ready to play the keyboard, the piano. It was just you got a piano somewhere? Every church, when I went to my church, the first thing I went to was the piano, and just played. And, it was just, it was fun. I never learned how to read notes, but he sure did train me my ear on how to listen for everything. But that was when I was younger, hungry, and it was like I woke up playing went to sleep playing all during the day. If I can get my hand on the keyboard, I'm playing, forever playing, going at it, just going, going, going. And now it's like,
Sometimes you be needing a break. I know I need a
yeah,
break. It's like
yeah,
I definitely be needing a break. Absolutely.
yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
Jay said he had to go right now. That's the young guy that was just on. It was
Okay.
nice meeting you, man.
Yeah,
Hopefully you
Jay.
might can rap with us again. We're on here pretty much every Wednesday. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. But as Jay slid off, look who slid in. It's Pretty
Ron.
Ronnie, what we call him.
I was wondering how long he was gonna hold out.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to. Is that was Jay that was sharing his screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope I hope he listens to this later on in the future. What I was going to tell him is, don't worry about trying to sound like Corey Henry and all them other guys. What God has for you is for you, and what He
That's
has for
it.
them is for them. And I mean, as young as you are, and from what I'm hearing, you already got the skill of it, man. So
He's middle
don't
school
be
playing
concerned
like
with
that.
that. Just worry about just perfecting your craft. Don't worry about them guys. You'll get there. You probably surpass them.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. He probably had to go because it's almost bedtime.
Yeah, he's middle school. He's middle
For
school.
real. Hopefully he heard that. I hope he heard that. Jay, did you hear that, or are you still gone? Jay
I
part
think he
2.
left.
Yeah.
He gotta go to bed. He got homework to do.
But anybody else? Now here's a good testimony should come from Kasai, because he's only been playing for about a year. So this might help the person that asked. He said, "Thank you for the testimonials." Let me see before Kasai talk. Let me see what my baby sister just said. Shaking my head, y'all. Need to do some intercessory prayer for me. I ain't never had that kind of fervor. We've been trying to get her to get into music more, and it's like pulling teeth.
Right.
Go ahead, Kasai. What's your story, man? You only been playing for like a year, so
Yeah, with give a little backstory. My mom was a professional singer,
okay.
and the moment she found out that I had the slightest inclination, she got me a guitar.
Okay.
And no one in my family plays guitar. No, she doesn't play.
Right. That's how my family, in my household, I'm the only musician. Well, my sister did play clarinet in middle school. My
No
older
doubt.
sister, but that was it. Just in middle school. That's it. Go ahead.
But it was it started out as a love-hate relationship because the guitar hurts. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
And but as I garnered an appreciation and a respect for it, with anything else, it just grows from there. So after a while, you might play with other people, you might play with other instruments, and then you just gravitate. And it's just like a almost like a linear path where things just fall into your way. So I'm just gonna try that, and then you go on to the next thing. And eventually I found the keyboard, and I've always had a keyboard just to keep pitch, but to actually sit down and play it, that was a completely different story. And COVID hit. I had nothing else to do.
Well, I mean, you could do this.
This cat.
1, 2, 3. You win. Okay, go ahead.
But that's the great thing about music. It helps you expand, not in just one area, because like nobody here does just one thing. Everybody might start with one thing, but then they might lead into production, they might lead into songwriting, they might lead into engineering, whatever have you. And that's the beautiful thing about the arts, where you're not really just focused on one facet of the diamond. You cover the whole gem as much as you possibly can. And just like what you guys were saying earlier, that fervor, that hunger, that need, that you know that
That's what it was.
That's
It
what
was
it
a
does.
need. Yeah, that was a need. I had to learn it. I feel you. I
You
like
know?
that need. I like how you said that. Yeah.
You know, staying up like 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing you have to be up at 7.
Yeah, and you got to
Man.
test, and look, and you know you got to test, and you know if your mama knew you was in the, playing with headphones on, that you would probably get a whooping or something. But like, I don't care. This is worth it. This G-7 chord sound good. Oh, that
I so
sound.
miss those days. I
Be like,
miss
oh, this
those days.
F-7, oh my goodness, when I first discovered those chords, I was like, oh my goodness, these sound
Yeah.
great.
It's like going from green to teal. It's like,
Yes.
oh wow. Wow, look at that.
Oh, that's all I can say. Oh. All right,
Yeah,
go ahead and finish your story, man. But when you said that need, that hit the soul, because that's exactly what it was. It was a need for me.
Yo, you know what I mean? Like look at anybody else. Like look at dancers. You know, you don't find a dancer that just dances ballet. They might go into tap. They might go into modern or hip hop or whatever. You know, it's a trip. You know, and that's what the arts just in general does. Not just music. You know, all across the board. For me, it was, you know, I wanted to get more into the live aspect of performing. I've done production, and it's cool, and but it's like, you know, what else can I do? You know, again, going right back into that whole fervor thing, you know, where it's just like, you know, you wake up and it's on your mind. You wake up and you can taste it. You go to bed with it. It's just that thing, man. That's it.
Absolutely.
Told you that hunger, man. You want to eat, breathe, live it. I mean, you wake up on it. Doing it.
I can't explain it, man.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? I akin it to a marriage, where like in the beginning, it's like, man, I need it. Every day, and then after a while, you coexist.
Get angry.
With it.
Yeah.
I just can't get this daggone thing right. This. Oh man!
You start having an
I don't know how
argument.
long it took for me to play that intro to On Bended Knee right, man. When I was
Look, you had start having arguments like a marriage, huh, Ron?
I told you E flat. I told you to play E flat. Okay.
Oh, that's what I do too.
Stop playing
Richard.
E natural. I said E flat.
Oh man, I thought I was the only one that did that.
I do that when I learn these songs for these tutorials. I do that even now. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yep.
Oh man, I thought I was the only one that does that. I'd be like, oh, you stupid.
My fingers do not know how to obey. Like
Yes.
fingers, I need you to obey fingers. Obey.
I'd be like, I told you to play that. Now, why did you do that? You know, I mean,
So this to let y'all all know, if you're going to be a musician, that means you're going to be crazy because you're going to start talking to yourself. Okay, go ahead.
oh yeah,
Back to your story.
You're there and having arguments with inanimate objects.
Right.
Why won't you work?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever. No, it's not that.
And when we go off the show, remind me to tell you what I usually call when we off the air.
Oh, it must be words that she can't use during the live stream. Okay.
We catch you on the after party.
I know, right? With dissonance at the early age. Okay, somebody said they fell in love with dissonance at an early. You know what? Once I heard it, like I was just like jazz stuff and all that stuff, and hearing those different type of chords, I was like, wow! It was just,
yeah.
man, that sounds good.
You know, when I fell in love with the Latino chords, when they did, oh man,
Those little rhythms
Hey,
and stuff.
now that's what I'm trying to master right there. That is going to be the death of me. I've been trying to learn that for
I know, me too, Ron.
years.
Me too.
Woo!
Me too.
And
they're
it's
not easy.
Right. It's not that they're playing anything hard. It's the
It's
rhythm.
the rhythm.
Yeah,
It's
the
the
rhythm
rhythmic.
of
It's
it,
moving your
That-
hands
it's
and
like
hitting those chords.
it's like playing a clavinet, but like piano that staccato. Yeah, that's.
I'm just making up something. I was just trying to see if I can make up something. Never mind. I just messed it up.
Hey, I will get that one day. One of these days, I'm just gonna take 3 months out of my life, and that's when I'm gonna live and breathe.
Yo, if anybody's gonna knock it out the box, man, it's gonna be you, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nah, I don't know about that. As busy as I am these days. Psh.
You said you were gonna take 3 months though, so you got it.
That's prayerfully.
Prayerfully. I got you.
Hey Ron. I'm still working on those cabinets. We ain't stopped working on the cabinets.
Got a question for you, Kasai.
Okay, does bass guitar help to play piano? You want to know something? I believe it can, because then if you can play bass, and like it's just the keyboard just in different arrangements, or it's organized, I don't know, in fourths or fifths. You know,
You talking about the strings on the bass?
yeah.
You got an E, and then you got an A. That's a 4, right? And then you got D, right?
E.
It is fours. They are
it is
fours.
fours.
Those fours. Yeah, you go from E to A to E. I'm sorry, E to A to D,
And then
you got a G. So yeah, those strings are in fourths. Yep.
You
I
know,
never thought of it like that. I never actually thought of it like that.
and that's all it is. You know, a lot of people are playing. You know, you recognize. You look at some of the greats. Look at Jaco Pastorius. You look at the way they play, and they play in a particular. They might play in a nice little box, and that's all. That's all we're really doing playing piano. We're just playing in a nice little section, keeping it tight. You know, so yeah, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, he gonna play that one little tune.
Here we go.
He gonna play that one little tune.
That one. This is the one song I can
The
play.
one song he can
Yo,
play.
you play that
That's
one
it.
song, man.
Don't come to my channel for bass lessons, please don't, because I'm messing this one up already. So don't come. I will not do bass lessons, but I'll let y'all know that I can play a little.
Teach that song right there that you're doing.
Say that again.
You could teach that song. Right
Okay,
there
yeah,
that
but
you're
that's
doing.
it. It'll be a one tutorial. That's it. I'll have to create a new channel that will have one tutorial ever. It will just be a House of Jazz, the bass tutorial, man, with one tutorial.
That's so funny, because you remember back in the day when Jamil Hartwell used to bring on different musicians.
Yes,
that'd be the only time that you'll see him at one time. It's a drummer, a bass guitar player, but they was tight though.
Yep. Yeah, he has sometimes I like looking at his old videos, man. I miss when he used to post stuff like that.
Man, I do too, man.
Yeah,
His
stuff used to be it'd be good, like really good.
And
good
he's
content.
He's from Ohio also.
Yeah, he moved to Florida at one point, and then because I only know that because of his videos, but then he moved somewhere else, like Texas or something. I don't know.
Ohio.
I think he moved again, like from Ohio to Florida, and for a while he was playing at a church down there in Florida, and we would see it on his videos. But then I think he moved again. I'm not 100% sure.
Hey, musicians from Ohio, they are some of the best, well-rounded people. Woo.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Zapp
We got
and
the
Roger.
OJs is from Ohio, right?
Yep. Zapp and Roger.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
Hey Ron, didn't y'all have a big big quartet musical down there down toward that way this past weekend?
They may have. I don't keep up with none of these folks.
Oh.
Nahimi, I've already did my lesson on 11th chord. You'll have to look at the stream from the very beginning. I already did that lesson already. So we're just having a discussion. I had that lesson like 2 hours ago.
Hey,
How many hours we've been on here? It's like 2 hours and 43 minutes. Yeah, you'll have to go back about 2 hours and 43 minutes for that lesson.
Yeah, because my teacher was in one of those groups down there this past weekend.
Yeah, he said I'd like to hook up with him. He said next time he's in Louisville, he'll like to link up.
Yeah. He was there this past weekend. If everything goes right for him, I think he's gonna be touring with somebody, and they supposed
You
to
talking
be
about
in
Eric Poole?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Most churches here are not. They're just doing live stream. They haven't been back full time.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's here too in Baltimore. With the churches, I'm saying.
Yeah, but he was down there this past weekend with singing with some quartet group. So
Where does he stay now?
he's still in Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. I
He's
didn't know
in
he was that
Evansville,
far
right?
away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Evansville is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me.
Yeah.
Evansville is one of them places. Woo! Well, we'll talk about that after the stream.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing there, but okay.
I think that's where his wife is from.
It's probably only about 4 or 5 of them. Okay.
We'll leave that alone. Because this is a rated PG stream. Rated G, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we'll leave all that alone.
Yeah.
Right, Mitch?
Right.
Oh, okay.
He's still with her.
For those of you that wonder why we periodically have to say right, Mitch, it's just our way of making sure that he hasn't fallen asleep on us. Because sometimes you'll hear me say right, Mitch, and you won't hear a response. Then we know, oh, Mitch.
He done went off and
Maybe sawing wood.
Yeah, so.
Or he done went off and escaping somewhere.
Now, you said, what is his role? Now, this is Naheem. He's asking another question. You said, what is his role in passing chords? And what you mean, his role? When you say his, who's the his you're talking about?
Actually, that's a real that he touched on something I still don't know. What are passing chords?
I mean, it's literally chords that you use to pass from one chord to another chord, but you can throw it in there. Like if you have a song where you post, if this is the first chord, and then the second chord is, you can throw a passing chord and go. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That second chord now, that was a passing chord. So instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, you can go 1, 2, 2. That's chord in the middle. That's called a passing chord. It's just something to help you pass.
To
make
get
it
to
slick.
the chord you're gonna get to.
It's a musical segue.
A musical what?
A musical segue.
Okay, there you go. Look at it. Exactly.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as chords that are not in the sheet music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's not part of the song.
Is it something that's within the key, or are you going outside the box? Like how is it typically done?
Yes.
What you got, Ron?
I'm
trying to actually get my thing to work. That's why.
It all depends in gospel music. I mean,
right.
You go tritones. You can go any way you want. That's why I love gospel music so much. Because gospel music, you can get away with a whole lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be complicated to answer your question. It can be something simple.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example? Like you played something, Rich.
I was trying to share my screen. That's why I literally was trying to so you can see what I'm playing. Hold on, let me just restart it. Hold on.
Like if you're
let me restart it.
I'm a visual learner.
And that's what I was trying to bring up on. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't working. Okay, go ahead, D.
Like if you go from a 1 to going to a 5, you can put something in between to get there.
So, all right. So this is the example I was saying. Okay, let's say
how great is our God?
Like if right, that's true. Yeah, I guess you could do that. That is, I don't usually play it in C, but yeah, I'm usually in that key.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, let me go back to C. So let's say the song is a C major chord, right? Because And then the next song is the chord sheet or the sheet music to say go to A minor 7, right? So it's like, and you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. But you just want something extra in there that you can go. Did you see what I was able to do? So when I did a C major chord, and then what I did was just put, this is basically a G over B chord. So since I'm in the key of C, then technically, no, I really didn't go out of the key of C. On my right hand, I'm playing an inverted G major chord, and I'm playing a B on the left hand. So I went A, B, I said A, I'm sorry, C, B, A. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I needed something that was going to work with that B. So I did a G chord. I put a G chord over B.
Hey Richard, to make it click for him, sing the first part of "How Great Is Our God."
Great is our God. Sing with me, how great. Did that click? Is our God?
Yeah.
Oh, see how great. I kind of use that G chord as a passing chord. How great is our God. So we'll do it one more time. So you go, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great. Now, if you didn't play that chord, you would go, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great. You see how it's just kind of empty? It's like empty. So when you put that passing chord in there, great is our God. Sing with me, how great. You know, so I don't know if that makes sense.
So soon as I was able to see it, I got it right away.
Got you.
Soon as I saw you play it, it fell right into place.
Got you.
Thanks, man.
Now, and like sometimes you can do like they got like the fancier passing chords like and then you can go. That's when you're ready to start jazzing stuff up, though.
See you later, Vegan. You have a good night.
All right, he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, how great is our God? Sing with me, how great. So those, it's like it's not just one way to pass. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, oh man, you just got to choose which way you want to do it.
I mean, you gotta feel it. I mean, it's a flow too. You know?
It's like, you know, whenever I'm trying to learn a song and I can hear those empty spaces, it's like, oh, I gotta throw something in there.
Yes, that's a good. That's it. Those empty spaces, being able to find a chord that fits in those empty spaces, passing chords. That's it. I like how you said that. Well, like when you can find that, like what I was doing in D flat. So this is a 1 chord, and then when I went here, that's a 7, right? Is this a 3? That's a 3, right? Yeah, that's a 3. And then I went to, I guess this is the 6, right? Yeah, 7, 3, 6. So now there are in the number system there are progressions that you can use that are popular progressions for passing chords, like doing a 7-3. So if you're familiar, so I was doing it in C major for a second. So let me go back to C major. So okay, so the song is in C. You play your C major chord, and then you can do a 7-3 progression. So the 7 will be B diminished. The 3 will be E minor. And then I can come up to the next chord. So you've seen me play it like this. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great. You can do it that way, or you can go, how great is our God? Sing with me, how great. So I still went to the 7 both times, but what I did was added a 3. Right. That's what it is. The first time I did it, I just went to a 7. And I just went 7. So I went from 1, 7, 6. So 7 became the passing chord. You know what I'm saying? Or you can do 1, and then you can do 7, 3. Then go to the minor 6.
Sometimes I do a 1 and 3,
And then now I'm on a 4.
6.
You do a 3-6.
Yeah, I do a 1 3 6.
Oh, you say 1 3 6. So 1 3 6. Oh yeah, you can do. Oh yeah, you actually can do that. Yeah, that worked. Okay, right. Great is our God. You said 3. Okay, so you used the 3 as the passing chord.
Yeah.
Got you. The 3 is the actual passing chord.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think about that for this particular song. You do it in D flat. Great is our God. And then you said you used the 3.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, that does work. It's our God. Okay, cool. I never did that. I either do a 7 or I do 7-3.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Okay. Did you learn something new, Ron?
Well, I do either way.
Oh, okay.
Depending on how lazy I am.
Right. The lazy way is just doing either a 7 or a 3. If you're feeling real tough, then you can do both. You do 7 and 3 together, or 6 5 8 10 11. No,
All right, depends on where my bass player is going.
Yeah, there you go. It's really important for you and your bass player to be locked, no doubt. Hold up, you got one. Let me see. Do you think Roland or Yamaha keyboards? This is going to cause because you got somebody that thinks Roland keyboards is the best keyboard on this panel, and someone that says Yamaha is. So you really want this stream to go on for another 10 hours. Let me fully read the question. Do you think Roland or Yamaha keyboards emulate the best acoustic piano for gigging purposes? I have a Yamaha. Congratulations, you picked the right thing. I have a Yamaha grand piano at home, but use Roland. Okay, you picked the wrong thing for what you use. Okay, a Roland RD800 and RD2000 for stage use.
I'm ready for this one.
Hey, hold on, let me mute these microphones so she can stop interrupting me. Hold on, okay, she's muted now. Okay, right? Is she? I don't know. Is she? No, let me stop. Okay, but now for me personally, I'm just in love with Yamaha. And think about it. Yamaha actually makes pianos, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the company knows like what a piano's supposed to sound like anyway. They have their own pianos to sample from. Have you ever seen a real acoustic piano that had the name Roland on it? Keyboards, yes. Keyboards, yes. But have you ever seen a piano that said Roland on it? So why would Roland make a better piano sound than a company that actually make piano sounds and can just simply sample their own sounds? Okay, D, I'm giving it to you.
I've never heard anybody explain it like that.
Thank you, Ron. I just had to make sure that I put D. Make sure that I made her explanation hard. Go ahead, D. Top that. A company that don't even make pianos but make better piano sounds than a company that makes. Explain that one, D. Explain it. I'm waiting.
Look, there's nothing wrong with Yamaha. Yamahas are good. I give it to them. But when you're on stage, it's something about a Roland. A Roland is something that you will just want to use. It has a good.
If my friend stage. Kim was on here right now, boo! Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
I would go with a Roland every time on stage.
But why? But seriously, all jokes aside, why the Roland over a Yamaha keyboard?
I don't know. Roland just gives you that sound on the stage. I mean, the stage presence of the Roland. It's just hard to explain. It's not saying that a Yamaha can't either, but I tried both of them, and that's just my preference. I just rather have a Roland.
Okay. I would now. Let me say this because I don't want people to think I dislike Roland, because I actually have a Roland sound module that I've had for more than 10 years. And for those of you who don't know what a sound module is, it's basically the brain of a keyboard. I basically have the brain. If y'all remember the Roland board back in the day called the XP80, Roland XP80.
Oh yeah.
It's literally this is just the brain of the Roland XP80 plus I have like 4 or 5 additional banks that keyboard doesn't have. So technically I own a Roland keyboard too. I just the brain part, and I can use my keyboard. So no, I'm not against Roland. I'm just saying. So I need to make that clear. I'm not against Roland. I'm just saying that if you want superior,
get the Yamaha.
superior
There's nothing wrong with the
sound,
Yamaha. It's nothing wrong with them. Actually,
you
I'm
go with
looking
the
at
Y,
a
not the
montage.
R. And my name is Richard, y'all. So I like names that start with the letter R. So
Oh,
I have nothing
Lord.
against Roland because I'm like my name starts with an R. But when it comes to keyboards, I wish my name started with a Y. That's all.
But anyway, if I had to go on stage, Roland would be something I would use.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Sure, D.
Now, at home practice, I use a Yamaha.
Now you be on that Casio. Don't even.
No, no.
You be on that Casio.
I got my Korg at home. And that Korg, the Korg is another one I like too. I like Korg.
What is the role of 11th chord in passing chords and chords progression? I don't really use 11 chords in passing. Do you, Ron? Or D? Or any of y'all? Any of y'all. I usually don't go to 11s with passing, so
I don't either.
I'm not a theory person, so whatever goes.
Yeah.
Ron, like wherever my fingers say go.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Danny Harp. I'm old school. I have a Motif ES8, but I need piano lessons. Check this out. I have the watered down version of the Motif XF8. I have the Mo XF8, which is the exact same sound. So we Motif family right here.
Oh, but keep
Motif.
reading, keep
Motif.
going down, keep.
I'm not going to keep going down because I'm going to stop right here because this is my stream, and I can stop if I want to.
Keep going
It's
down.
my stream, and I can stop if I want to.
No,
Stop if I
you don't want to give the Roland
Stop.
props.
Let me stop.
You don't want to go with the props.
I
Keep
started
reading.
with a Roland keyboard EP9. Okay, I'm reading. Roland is big. I never said it wasn't. Never said it wasn't. I never said it wasn't. A lot of people come from Roland, but is Roland big on when it comes to buying like acoustic pianos?
See, there you go.
I had a Korg workstation also, but once again, I need more lessons. Which workstation did you have? Like a Triton, Trinity?
On i3.
Yeah, those are the newer ones. Yeah, which
Yeah.
Korg did you have? So hold on, wait a minute. You're spending some real serious money on keyboards, and that's some real money you're spending. You say you need keyboard lessons? Wow. Okay. Now the person that initially asked the question, one girl and the piano man. Oh, we got another piano man. I'm the piano tutorial man. Oh, you didn't say tutorial, so okay. So in jazz, in smooth jazz, Brian Culbertson only uses Roland live, and it sounds great. Brian Simpson uses Yamaha and equally sounds good. But I have to say, Brian sees Roland sounds has the edge. AD, can you block this person? AD, can you block this person from commenting, please?
No, I will not.
Yeah, we need to block this person from commenting. One girl in the piano man.
No, I will not. Thank you.
I am going to have to block
you.
you from making comments.
Thank you, one girl and a piano
because you
man.
said Roland is better than Yamaha on my stream, and everyone should know that you don't say that type of crap.
He will be
on my
okay.
stream.
He will be okay.
No, I'm going to have to block you so that you can never, ever
pay
ever
him no mind.
Type anything in this live
mind.
stream or any of my videos ever again. You have committed the ultimate sin, and
he will be okay.
And it's unforgivable. It's unforgivable.
He will be okay. He will be okay.
Now it might not be a sin against God, but it's okay. Let me stop. I'm getting too crazy now.
yeah.
They definitely getting crazy now. Yeah.
But we all know Roland is good on the. Hey, I'm sorry.
Ain't
I
not,
like again. I don't have nothing against the Yamaha because I'm actually looking at a Yamaha to get. So yeah, but I just on live performances, I rather use a Roland.
if you, in my opinion, and I don't look at a lot of the live stuff that's coming out, like the award shows and stuff like that, but I remember it was hard to see some type of live performance of any kind and not see motif keyboards up or like in that band more than you. I mean, I'm not saying you never saw Roland or
That's
anything
true.
like that, but if you look at like for like the last 10, 15 years, man, it was hard to, it's like you would see multiple motif, and maybe one person might have a Roland if it's multiple keyboard players up
Now
there.
you see Rollins and Equinox, and I know they have
Nah,
one
you
Equinox.
still see
and
you still
Tristan
see you still
Chord.
see
You see
Yamaha.
some. You see some. You'll see some of the motifs, and but it's usually Roland or Chords.
We got A Major up in here. I know you have the montage. Hey yo, A Major, come up on this panel and talk about that montage, man. I'm jealous of you, man. I saw that on your thing. Click that link. Come up on here. This one of my homies, man, from when I first started my channel back in the day. Been supporting me. He been doing this longer than me. Yo, come up on the panel. Talk about that. He has that montage. That's like the most expensive Yamaha synthesizer, basically, that you can get. It's like their flagship, I should say.
Yeah, those joints are nice. I watched some reviews of it.
Oh, hold on. I almost missed what he said. Yeah, hey, Anthony, yo, I need you to come up on here so we can set D straight on which keyboard is the best. Click that link, sir. Click that link, come up on here, and let's set her straight. And he's a piano dude. This dude can play circles around me, to be honest with you. Okay, then he said, my record label provides me with a complete state-of-the-art studio. Okay, I play by ear. Once I hear a song, I can play, but don't understand the theory, just the feeling. I know basic scales, just started modes. Okay. Well, if you're so good that a record company is financing you, and I mean, I think you probably doing better than me.
Right.
I don't have a record company financing me. Yeah. So
right.
We got these homemade studios over here.
Right, exactly. Homemade in the basement.
Right.
Like when somebody flushes the toilet on the third floor, I hear the water. I hear it.
Right.
If I'm in the middle of recording vocals and I'm like, la, and then I play the vocal back and I hear, shh. I'm like, oh man, I gotta do that take again. Dang, I gotta do that take again.
I hear my toilet flushing and dishwasher going and the air conditioning going.
Yes, the air conditioner is definitely oh man. During the summertime, I sit down here forever when I have to do vocals, and because I'm not going to turn the air conditioner off. I'm not that crazy when it's hot.
I have to turn mine off.
No, I just sit and wait. I wait for it to finally take a break, and I'll be sitting like 15 minutes, like. And then when it takes a break, I'm like, okay, let me hurry up. Okay, let me sing my vocals real quick. Send them in the Ron so he can mix them. Hold up, let me see. You're always on my mind. And then the thing come back on again. I'm like, okay, now I gotta wait another 15.
Hey, I'll run upstairs. I'm trying to record, y'all.
Shut up. Hey, yo, I'm trying to record. Shut up. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, you can do it from your phone, A Major. Yeah, you can do it. Matter of fact, I think Ron is on his phone right now. It'll still work.
Yep.
All right. Let me see. Hey Jazz. Oh yeah. He said, okay, yeah, check this out. He said, Yamaha is the best. The guitars and electric pianos are awesome. Yes,
I didn't say they wasn't. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Yamaha
but he
good,
said best.
But
he said best.
I said,
and you did not say best.
Roland. I said I use Roland as a live. That's all I said. I didn't say Yamaha wasn't good.
Right, but you didn't say that they were the best, like he said.
They had to.
See, you didn't. See, your problem is.
Your
problem is. Okay. No, yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
I didn't say the best.
That's the problem. You did not say the best.
They Yamaha is good, but I'd rather use Roland for live. If I'm doing live stage performance, Thank you. I'll bust you in your head too. Rolling for a live stage performance. I ain't got nothing against
So
Yamaha.
I think the reason why Roland's specialty, and I could be wrong, it was just synthesizers back in the day, correct?
Say that again. You say what? I'm
I
wrong.
believe back in the day, Roland's specialty when they first came out was just synthesizer.
I guess. I
I
mean,
think so.
they made pianos too, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they always made pianos, right?
but I
Roland
think it
did?
was.
Oh,
did,
I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't know why
he-
I'm thinking you said Yamaha.
No,
I'm
they
sorry.
did make synthesizers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
Roland
right.
is like one of the top dog synthesizers back in the day, and then Yamaha they made they made pianos, and they also made just the keyboards back then. You remember just the keyboards that had like a piano, organ,
Like a digital piano thing.
yeah, like a digital piano.
Right.
I don't think they've always been in the synthesizer game because that's all that a Yamaha motif is a synthesizer.
Okay. Yeah. Roland is definitely synthesizers and digital pianos because those ones that's called Roland D, and they have a number. Aren't those digital pianos? Those are not even synthesizers, are they? Aren't those
But
like digital pianos?
yeah, they've got the digital pianos also.
Right. I mean, yeah, they got. I mean, Phantom and all that stuff. Those are definitely
Oh yeah. Phantom, I
synthesizers.
forgot
Yeah.
about
And the one that my module is based after, which was the Roland XP, we talking 1999 is like when they had that out. Like those are synthesizers. But yeah, they definitely synthesizers.
But they just good for live performances. Richard sound and they just good for live performances.
Now I tell you one that a lot of people don't talk about that is still relevant, but people don't talk about the Lisi keyboard.
Yo, that was my. You see that video I
yes.
have of my old band, and I'm playing that Vic Elisa's keyboard.
I have that one. I
Yeah.
have that one, man.
That was my quadro synth, man. I love that thing, man.
But
it
you
was
know,
heavy, but I loved it.
look, I'm gonna tell you the one that y'all need to get, and that's that Williams keyboard.
Oh, boo! Okay, and for that, she gets the mute. She gets the mute.
You know, I'm just playing about that.
If there is anybody out there listening, if you ever go into a Guitar Center and you're trying to buy a keyboard and it
Do
says
not.
Williams,
Don't.
do not. Let me say this
No.
again. Hold up. Read my lips. Do not get that joint. Okay. All right.
Do not. No.
And with that,
No
and
way.
with that, we're going to say what's up to A Major. This is the first time he finally made it to one of my live streams, man. What's up, man?
I know. What's going on, man? What's up, y'all?
I'm trying to be like you.
How's everybody doing? I'm
Doing
fine.
good,
All right,
doing
man.
good.
Look. We've been following each other for a long time.
About
man.
4 or 5 years, man. And you were big back then. I was just like a little
I'm
dude.
trying- No, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up, man. Your channel's blowing up, man. I'm proud of you, dude.
I appreciate that, man.
But
You
no,
definitely was at the beginning, like literally when I was my first tutorials up, man. Definitely, man. I appreciate it. I mean, but this is the first time we we talked on the phone once before, I think, didn't we? Maybe.
I think we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. So this is the second time, man, in like 4 or 5 years, man. What's up, man? Now, can you please
Man, look,
talk
y'all
to
talking about these.
tell her her name is D. Tell her how wrong she is about rolling. Talk to her, man.
I didn't
That's why I
say
brought you on here.
anything about the Yamaha. I said
No,
Yamaha.
you didn't say it was the best.
Now, so
Right, that's the problem.
Lord. Oh,
You didn't say it was the
Lord.
best.
Oh God.
all right, look. So my first workstation keyboard was a Roland Phantom, right?
Okay, I
got the
forgive you.
Roland Phantom.
I forgive you. I forgive you.
Yeah, I got it, and I was just like, nah, it's not for me. I need something
Right.
with some, nice lush sounds, electric pianos, and that was. I didn't look back, man. Yamaha is like great for what they have, and then they have the good FM sounds,
Yes, the FM
You know, you
pianos.
can't
Yeah,
forget about the DX7 and the
DX7.
yeah,
Man,
You ain't lying. That DX7.
The
You
DX7.
ain't lying about that.
Man, hold
Yes,
up,
the
man.
DX7 is good. I like the DX7.
What are you talking about? That's all you heard in the 80s and 90s on the radio.
On
It's all
Roger
good.
Brooklyn and
Troutman
all the
used that.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes,
Yeah.
all you heard was Yamaha DX7 keyboard, man.
But for me, and this is my preference, I like a
Boo.
Roland on stage, a live performance. A Roland, I use Roland.
Boo! Hold up. This is for those of you that don't know what the 7 is supposed to sound like. Did y'all not hear that sound on all y'all favorite 80s and 90s records?
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, I remember that.
You don't remember hearing the DX? Come on, man. Come on. Roland can't top that.
That was
Roland
nasty.
can't top this sound. Come on, D. Come on, D. It's a losing battle. You might as well just admit. Just submit.
Hey, check this out. When you said Beverly Hills Cop right there, I said, yeah, this man knows what he's talking about.
He know. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Ron, you need to check out
Look,
some of his
Eddie
videos.
Murphy,
Check
that's
him out
my
on
guy.
Instagram. Like he posts stuff on Instagram. Yeah, he know what he talking about.
Oh,
Trust me.
Are you underneath A Major Keys?
Yeah,
You still there?
My YouTube
Oh.
channel is Anthony A. Major Russell.
Right. And what's your Instagram? Because you don't do that many videos on YouTube anymore. Do you?
I need to get back to it, man. No, I don't. I'm sorry. You about to hear some noise.
Okay, that's okay. Everybody get gas sometimes. We understand. You had to
Thought
let
it
it
was a
out. It's all
chainsaw.
good. We understand. We get gas. Gotta let it out. Next time, just mute your mic next
We
time.
got
No,
to.
I'm just playing.
My Instagram is A Major Keys.
Yeah, A Major Keys. And if you look on mine, I'm following him. So if that helps you find him, it's how sometimes you can go to somebody that you follow and then find them.
I'm
But yeah,
check you out. Cool. Cool.
Oh yeah. I'm trying. That's why I say when you listen to his productions, he's like, his productions is like, okay, yeah, I want to be like him when I grow up. He be showing
Look,
his
I want to be
productions.
like you, man. Look.
No, those productions you've been like, you be giving us little samples of your tracks that you working on. Be like, who do you think what artist would sing on this? And I'm like anybody in the industry. Anybody in the industry.
I sent the track to Donnell Jones, right?
Okay.
And he said, man, yeah, he said, I'm feeling this track, man, but nothing happened, but just
Right.
coming from Donnell Jones,
Exactly.
that means a lot,
Yeah, you're gonna get it, man. You're gonna get it because your stuff is crazy. And I don't know why you don't be doing our Saturday streams with us, but I get it. You big time. You with Donnell Jones and them, so I get it. You can't produce
No,
with us little
but-
people. With us little people.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all hear this? No, man. I get on YouTube and stuff late, and then sometimes I either miss the stream. I'm like, dang, he was on. I missed it.
Right. I feel you.
But, yeah.
We're gonna make our time sync up. But Ron has had a placement in something. Well, what did you get a placement on, Ron? Was it a commercial with one of your songs?
The Meredith Veneer show.
Oh, really?
He has a
That's
placement.
on channel. Well, that's on NBC.
Yeah, I think the show.
Awesome.
I think it went off in 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. But Ron got a placement on there.
no doubt.
Definitely. Ron, so between Ron and A Major Keys, we just the little guys. I might weigh more than them, but I'm still just a little guy. I just weigh more than them. That's it.
Well, since they like it so much, maybe they'll send me another check.
I heard that. Goodness.
We all gonna meet up. Look, one of these days we all gonna meet up.
Absolutely. Yeah, we was trying to do that this year, and then of course COVID got worse again. And some of us was trying to meet up, and so I guess when things calm down again.
Yeah.
When things calm down
Hopefully
again.
that would be soon. Right.
I know, right? For real. For
But-
real. Brother
But
John.
you know, I'm about to go to sleep because I got to get up early in the morning.
I understand. I appreciate you coming on and setting D straight, letting her know that she don't know what she talking about. I really appreciate it.
Oh
You know-
my God.
I had to get on here because that rolling talk, was really getting me. So D, I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
I had to do that.
Thank
too.
you, man.
It's
like-
I did
I'm
not say
sorry.
nothing that wasn't wrong with the rolling. It
She
ain't
about to get
nothing
me banned
wrong
off
with the
YouTube with that rolling talk. She about to
with
get
the
me banned
Yamaha,
off.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with the Yamaha. I didn't
you
say
just-
I didn't dislike the Yamaha. I just said I preferred to use rolling on the
See,
live
she gonna get me. She gonna get my video flagged with talk like that.
Hey, D, the key words is you didn't say it was the best.
Right? You didn't
God.
say it was the best. That's the problem.
Good gracious. Because of
Come
one
on.
word.
So check
I
this
just said
out, look.
I
One word,
preferred.
you just-
I preferred the rolling on live stage. That's all I said. I wasn't against the Yamaha. I wasn't against
Well,
the Yamaha.
You
I
just
just did
made a new
the what you say?
I said she just made a new friend.
I know, right?
hey, D, to them, that was like you said that I like the Hammond organ, but I like it without the Leslie.
right. No. To us, that's like saying I like the Williams keyboard. That's what that's like saying. No, I'm just playing.
Lord.
No, I'm just playing.
I would like the floor model from Guitar Center, please.
Boo! But yeah, the DX7 keyboard, electric piano sound, man, it's still good. Like today,
Yes, it is. It sounds
yeah.
good. Yeah.
I used this when I
But you
did the
know-
Always track, the Atlantic Star when I did it with Nisha last week or whatever. This is the sound I use. Yep, I'm like, this sounds so good. And we both know. Yeah, man, I love this sound. But okay, D, you stick to that rolling.
Oh, I will.
Well, I do want the
rolling.
I do want the Roland JD 1080 though. I do want that.
Well, that's classic though. You said J Juno or what you say? You said
JV
Roland what?
1080.
Oh, JV. Now, isn't that one of the classic
JV.
boards? That's
It's
one
a
of the
module.
Yeah, the sound module. Okay. The sound module that I have is XV3080, and it's an old one. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's Roland XV3080, and it has all of the XP80 sounds, like the Roland XP80, all of that. But then it has another additional 3 banks of sounds that the keyboard didn't have. And this was a floor. You live in Maryland, right, Anthony?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
right. So you in my area. So if you remember, there was a store called Mars Musicians Planet. You remember that?
I do.
Okay. When they went out of when they were going out of sale, when they was going shutting down their store or whatever, they was letting everything go, and they let this Roland go. Now it was 900. Let me tell you. Okay, if you wanted to buy this module brand new, it was $999.99. That's what it was. That's if you wanted it brand new out the box. But when they was closing the store, they was selling this floor module for the same price, but the floor model had 3 expansion cards in it as well. So like I got this was like a ridiculous deal. Like I got the XP80 sounds, I got the 3 banks that's included. But then if you open up the top, you'll see that I got like 3 expansion stuff in this thing. So yeah, so D, I'm cool with Roland. I got plenty of Roland sounds. They just not the best. That's all. I got thousands of Roland sounds.
But you did make a new friend though tonight, because I had to come in and I had to come in and talk about the Roland, and I'm a Yamaha guy, but that's crazy how we met off of that.
I know, right?
Right.
She's sitting there like, right, yeah, get off here. You Yamaha lover, you.
Nah, man.
Well, yeah, man, I
all
appreciate you
boards
coming through though. What you say?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm about to get off.
All right, cool. But you need to be hopping back on some more, man. You need to show these people how it's done. Show us how it's done, I should say.
I know.
All right,
I
man.
would get on camera, but I gotta robe on. I can't be doing all that.
Yeah, because he one of them. He one of those dudes that be working out. He don't want to make all y'all women go. Oh. So yeah. So keep the camera off, man.
Okay, all right.
We can't have another
All right, y'all.
EO.
Later, man.
That's a good one. I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh my goodness. All right, Anthony.
See you later, Anthony.
All right, man.
Right, y'all.
That was a good one right there. Peace. I was not thinking about that. That was a good one. I don't want another eel. Right, Mitch? Oh my goodness. We barely got a right from him that time.
Yeah.
I did wanted to answer Brother John's question. He said, just wondering what process you use to learn songs. Sheet music is my number one favorite way because it's less work. But if there's not sheet music, then when I'm learning a song by ear, I go by the bass notes first, like whatever the foundation. It's like when I'm figuring out what the chord is, I have to figure out the foundation first. So, I'm listening for the bass note. And depending now, if it's a song that I can it's you listen to the song. Okay, I get a request for a tutorial. Okay, I'll listen to it. Sometimes you can listen to a song and be like, "Oh my goodness, this is just some simple stuff," and you can kind of just start playing around with it. And by the time the song go off, it's like, okay, you done figured it out. But if it's like a really, really well written song, let's say something like On Bended Knee or something that has a whole bunch of stuff in it, you ain't gonna just sit down and just listen to it one time or whatever. So if I have to break a song down, I usually go by the bass notes. I listen to the bass note, and then I build the chord from there. So, and then I literally will learn a song one chord at a time. Yes, and it's a very long process, but that's what I usually do. So it's like, usually, if you know song structure pretty well, you should know, okay, you got an intro, got a verse, chorus, and you might have a bridge. And a lot of the stuff that I do tutorials for, in pop music, R&B music, you got verse, chorus, whatever. So I'm like, okay, a lot of times the intro is a part of the chorus. So, all right. So when I learn the intro, I'm like, I'm going to come back to these chords when the chorus comes up, because watch, it's going to be the same chords. Those doesn't always work, but okay, whatever. And then when I go to the verse, I'm just one chord at a time. And I listen for the bass note first, and then I match it with the right hand. And then once I get it, I say, okay, well, let me get the chorus. So I'm typing each chord down. As I figure out a chord, I type it down. And there you go. Then I have a section of my chord sheet that's called chorus. One chord at a time. I figure it out. I type that chord down. And then I'll listen to the song to see if the song has a bridge in it. If it has a bridge, figure it out. And then I just go back from there. Then I just start practicing the song to be able to make the video for it. So that's my process. Did y'all want to talk about your process of learning? Any of y'all?
When with keyboard, when I learn, I use the bass note.
Same here. Okay.
Same thing. With guitar, I use the higher notes, because then I use the higher note as an anchor point, and then I can figure out like not like an anchor point, like a pivot, and then I can figure out what chord it is.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's it.
Same
I just
thing
want
for
to throw
me.
this in there that that same person that was talking about the rolling being better and D was talking, saying yes. They said that the DX7 EP is the sound of the 80s and 90s. I just thought I'd throw that in there. All
I
right, go ahead,
said the
D.
DP. I said it too. Dang.
But you didn't say it was the
man.
best.
Oh
You,
Lord, have
Stop
mercy.
you
beating
didn't
up
say
me.
Oh
best.
Lord.
I need you to say
NT
best.
and ways. I guess everybody can agree that you pick up on the bass line of it. When you're learning, but you have to be careful there too because your bass hand can be doing one thing, but your right hand can be doing another.
And that's what I was gonna say is I listen to the bass notes, but a lot of times I'm listening for the soprano note, and then that's how I find my chord. I don't always listen for the bass, or maybe it just comes to me. I don't know, but I'm normally listening for the melody or the soprano note.
I've heard people say that they do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I listen for
They
the
listen for the
bass,
melody. Yeah.
but then I know that on some of it, my right hand's gonna be doing something different. So, and then from there, I just when I start listening to the rest of it, to me, it's easier for me to catch on if I get the bass first and then get the rest of it.
You forgot to say best.
Jesus. Good gracious.
Okay. Mitch, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You want to talk about your process?
My process.
He
Mitch sounds like
definitely-
he's in another room.
He definitely was asleep. How do you go about learning songs?
What I do is let me see. What I do is
I know you gotta catch your breath and get your you gotta get your thoughts.
Woke up. What are you
He was
talking
like,
about, man?
he trying to sound like he was awoke. Like, well, let me see. Yeah, what I do. Yeah, what I do.
I get the cake batter. And I'll put that in the bowl.
And I mix it. Yeah, and I put some sugar in it. Now, go ahead, Mitch. I'm sorry, man.
no. What I do is what I'm trying to say is I listen to the. Well,
It's okay, Mitch.
well, my process is to like normally I do the chords like the chords and arrangements first, and then what I do is the actual drumming and stuff like that to put it together and everything, and then I just do the rest of it, add other instrumentations to it. What?
Nothing, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's just that wasn't the question that we was asking.
What were you asking?
We were asking, how do you go about learning a song by ear? Just how you go about when you have to learn how to do a song. You started talking about tracks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good, man.
I'm tired right now.
Oh, really? I would have never guessed.
Hey, but that is the correct way you make a track, though.
Yes, what he said is definitely how you go about making a track. No
Yes,
doubt.
it is.
No doubt.
Oh, okay. How I go about. All right, repeat the question again, please.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
Okay. All right. Let's say there's a song you want to learn and you want to learn it by ear. What is the process you go through to learn how to play that song?
Oh, well, my process. I listen to this song a couple of times until I actually get it.
Okay.
Or I just follow every key that I follow through what the person actually sings, and then I just go
the
right
melody,
through it.
the
melody, right? And then I just go right through it.
Gotcha.
Okay, Mitch.
I just find the note to the voice, and then that's it. And just go right through it.
Bless your heart, Mitch.
got you, bro.
Oh,
It's all
said,
good,
"Bless my
man.
heart."
It's all good, man. It's all
Bless your
good.
heart, man.
Yeah, I'm tired. I had a long day today.
I'm sorry.
Who did that?
Nobody. Yeah, I don't know who did that. D, stop that. Stop it.
Hey,
Stop
wasn't
it.
me. Hey, we need to ask EO that. EO, what you do?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He
Now
was better.
that would be
Yes, he would be the better man to
yo.
answer that question.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But first, he got to pick the paper up off the
Oh, hey, D, stop.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. Stop it. All right, let me see if we got these questions because I know we've been on for
Oh,
a few
God.
hours.
Oh,
Let me
so
see.
that's what Fresh Sound Florida been writing about me now, huh?
Well, he just said that. He said you know what you was doing, cutting off the camera.
And then he said that's why Mitch cut off the camera.
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay. Y'all are
Well,
crazy.
in case
Hey, don't say y'all like you're not a part of us, Juella.
Well,
You mean we are crazy.
in case
Get it
you're
straight.
listening to Fresh Sound Florida,
We.
I had a long day today. A long,
It's all
crazy day.
This cat here.
Yeah, it's all good. But ladies and gentlemen, we clearly have gone as long as we probably need to go for the evening.
Yes.
So, but we will say, oh, there you go. He back. There go Mitch. There you go. Yeah, what's up, Mitch? Yeah, what's up, Mitch? But yeah, we're gonna go ahead on now. If you just joined the stream and you were trying to get the lesson on the 11th chords, I did that at the beginning of the stream. Okay, so the last 2.5 hours we was just we were just doing whatever. But there is a lesson at the beginning of the stream. Okay, Saturday. Come back Saturday sometime after 9 p.m. That's all I'm going to say. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be sometime after 9 p.m. on here, and we're having a house party night. We'll be recreating some of our favorite songs that you hear at house parties. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there's going to be some other stuff too. We're going to have some discussions that they don't even know about. So, and I'm not going to tell them because that's how you keep it fun. So, but I will say this. I posted a poll on my community tab yesterday, and the question said, if you only had one CD, which CD, if you were on a deserted island, I should say, and you only had one CD player and you can only have one CD in there, which CD would you select? And I gave you like 5 options. Make sure you put your vote in. Come back on Saturday. That's all I'm gonna say. Come back on Saturday. All right. So if you haven't done so, make sure you do that. We'll see you Saturday. And next week we will be back and we will talk about 13 chords. And
lovely.
And then we'll be taking some more questions and probably just talking crap, just like you just heard us do tonight. So if you enjoy that, we'll see you then. Before you leave, if you did enjoy this stream, definitely give us the thumbs up. And if you want to give us a thumbs down, I can't stop you. We know who you are, but if you want to, that's fine. And get out, right? That's the rule, right? Go ahead, give us a thumbs down and get out. But we're going to go ahead on any last minute announcements, anyone? Going once, going twice. All right, y'all. Good night.